right, guys, welcome back into the show, guys. How are we doing? Welcome in, guys. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. And we've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the markets are tanking, but this is a phenomenal opportunity, guys, to take advantage of what's going on. And I want to give you guys the breakdown, what I'm doing. It has to do with Bitcoin, crypto, stocks, and all of the above right now. There's two ways to look at all of this, right? You can freak out, run for the hills, or you could really look at this as a big buying opportunity, a big opportunity to stack your chips. And, we talk about this all the time. Crypto is not for the faint of heart. And there are big swings, and this is a crash, but it's very similar to what happened in the last cycle. It's very similar. And guys, give me a heads up that you can hear this. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys could do that real quick. Just want to give a nice little sound check here because my intro didn't play that loud. Just want to make sure you guys got me loud and clear here. Okay, all good? Good deal. Okay. So appreciate you guys. This needs to happen. This way we know it's the bottom and we can move ahead, but it is Gary's fault for sure, LOL. Well, keep in mind, this happened in the last cycle too. We had the first big sell-off that was in the middle of the bull run, right? And then we had a crazy comeback. We'll look at that on the Bitcoin chart in a little bit. Thank you, Zach. I'm ready for this week. The bull run is about to take off. Shakeout happening as we speak. Diamond hands. 100%. What's up, Zach? Man, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? What does that mean? I've been buying and buying. Nice. Good morning. Yep. Shane. Okay, you guys can hear me good. Gotcha. Good. Put a Zin in. And let's get into this damn market, guys. Because, listen. Obviously, you don't want to see this happening. But there's a lot of things happening in the macro here that, are difficult to swallow. But if we zoom out here, this is the weekly chart on Bitcoin. We're still on a massive uptrend, okay? So we've come back down to where we were basically in February of this year, right here at 50,000. We were at 53,000 to start July, so we're not far off there. We did dip below that, obviously, broke through it, went to 50K. But many people have been calling $50,000 Bitcoin for a while now. And again, this is not just Bitcoin and crypto. The stock market had its worst day last Friday since March of the pandemic. We are dealing with recession fears. There are news reports out there that the Feds are getting ready to immediately meet to potentially cut rates. So we'll take a look at all of that. And listen, it all depends on how you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and your investments. If you're a long-term investor, this is a massive opportunity. Massive opportunity. And when you really look at this holistically, it's not a end of the world scenario here. People make money. People make money when the markets crash. This is how the quote-unquote rich get richer. Japanic Monday, yeah. So definitely some news coming out of Japan too that is, obviously hindering the markets here quite a bit. So we head over to X. We've got a lot of things here happening. Many people are calling for a rate cut, immediate rate cuts by the Feds. Elon Musk says the Feds need to drop rates. They have been foolish not to have done so already. Odds of an emergency Fed rate cut this week have just jumped to 60%. Is the Fed too late again, or is a recession setting in? Jacob King says, I've said this for years, and now it's just another confirmation. Bitcoin is not a hedge against anything. This shouldn't be news to anyone, but we're in the largest bubble in history. Stocks have their own issues, but crypto itself was entirely propped up by stablecoin fraud. I warned it would crumble like paper when it starts. Bitcoin is now death spiraled to new lows, plummeting below 50,000, and is ranked the #1 worst performing asset during the cycle so far. still has a way to drop. We still have several months of this to all play out. So people are afraid right now. People are afraid and fear is setting in. Sentiment feels like it's lower than when Bitcoin was at 15,000. But it's very important during these times, guys, that you cannot overreact. It's very easy to overreact right now. So react strategically. If there are places where you can still profit or stable up or get into stable coins, do that if that's what you think is best. If there are certain assets that you believe in the next 5 to 10 years and you want to buy the dip on them right now, do that. If there are certain stocks out there and you're sitting on cash and you've been waiting, this is your moment. This is your moment. But honestly, it looks like a lot of you in the chat are taking this in stride, which I really, really love. I mean, I'll tell you what, guys, if this would have happened to me, back in 2020, 2021, I would have been freaking out. But now we've been here. We've done that, right? We've been in this position before. So appreciate all the people listening in. We've got a great show for you guys. Great opportunity to dive into the news here this morning. The crypto crash is happening right now. Make sure you guys retweet this over on X. Definitely helps us out. We're going to have our Crypto Breakfast Club at 9:30, about an hour from now. We went a little early with our live today because, there's a lot to get to. And then, obviously, you could find us on YouTube right now. Smash that like button. Subscribe to that channel over on YouTube as we continue to get the word out that we're here. So let's see what else we've got here. There's a lot going on, obviously, and global markets are crashing. We know what's coming. Bitcoin, are you prepared? The stock market is still up nearly 13% so far this year. People are acting like it's down 20%, Pomp says. Short-term thinking is a mental disease. I agree with this 100%. You got to zoom out. This is a little crash. So Lark Davis says, I'm de-risking, have sold a portion of my portfolio. You can all have fun clowning on me when markets bounce. I am paranoid about collateral liquidation risks for loans versus BTC and ETH. An uncomfortably large percentage of my net worth is in crypto, leaving a small cash position. This needs to change. So this is where, I guess I'm somewhere in between. I've got about 40% of my net worth right now in cash. And some may say that's crazy, but you know what? I have the opportunity now to buy cheap assets. I've already emailed my stock portfolio manager to say, hey, I want to meet this week, start looking at opportunities. He's preserving capital. I too have a lot of my net worth in crypto, but a good chunk of it is in Ethereum and Bitcoin and some of the large caps like Caspa and Cardano, which I'm willing to hold. There are certain assets right now that you could look to offload. Certain meme coins in there that, for whatever reason you're still holding. I mean, it just honestly depends on what your overall net worth and portfolio looks like. That's really what it comes down to. Now there are some assets holding up too in the market still. There are some assets holding up. But Lark says, I know the cool thing is to say buy the dip right now, and current oversold level presents that what is likely the first real buying opportunities in the market. Wish I could take advantage of it if I had cash. See, so he's basically telling us if he had a cash position, he would be buying the dip. This is why it's so important to hold a cash/stablecoin position. I've learned this from the last cycle, guys. I sit on at any moment, 30 to 40% cash in my net worth. Because I know that it's not sexy, But having cash to be able to make moves when these markets dip or crash like this is how you gain wealth. Although a lot of people have been catching knives for the last 72 hours, and keep in mind that Japanese markets, US markets, and Iran all present uncertainty, which could still bring more attractive opportunities. I maintain significant crypto holdings. I'm not all out of the market. I remain long-term very bullish on these markets, but the stress of managing a position this size with corresponding liquidation risk on loans was getting to me. I have no problem rebuying some of these positions higher when the market signals some damn strength, which it has not yet. Stay safe out there. P.S. Feel free to roast me in the comments. What do you guys think? What would you tell Lark here? I mean, it's somebody like him you would think would have a cash position and be prepared for a moment like this, you would think. But evidently not. All right, Michael Van de Pope, expectations for today. The U.S. Open is going to be disastrous. Likely there will be more fear or sell-off taking place in the markets. Either this is reversing back up after governmental news to stabilize the markets. Expecting altcoins to fall in the coming hours. So yeah, I'm waiting for open, stock market open, to really look at opportunities here. Brett on base continues to fall, and I think it's a good buying opportunity here, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting a little bit. I think we can still come down a little bit, again, when this market opens. But this is why sitting on cash positions, guys, is a game changer. So we did hear that the Fed emergency meeting on interest rates today due to the stock market crash in Japan. Money printer is going to be crazy. They're probably going to be printing money. I'm just going to put a poll out here. Do the Feds have to immediately cut rates, yes or no? What do you guys think? Take part in that poll. This is what happened. Japan's stock market is currently set to post its largest two-day drop in history, guys. This is an even larger drop than the Black Monday crash of 1987. Now South Korea has halted all sell orders as the market crash. Panic selling has arrived. People are freaking out. I'm just drinking my coffee. I don't know about you guys. I'm not freaking out. I'm in a good spot. We're sitting on cash positions. We wait to see, what's happening. Germany's feeling good this morning. Oh my gosh, ApeCoin's down to 61 cents. Kyle says, don't be scared. Markets are effed, but the Fed is going to step in and print more money. They almost say they have to. It is insane that trillions of dollars in stock portfolios are essentially frozen right now during a market meltdown because the stock market doesn't operate 24/7. Hard to see this not changing in the modern hyper-connected world. I agree with that from Pomp. But if we look at Bitcoin, guys, long term here, okay, let's go back to 2021. So right in here, this doesn't look like much on the weekly, but right in here, this was our last cycle. Remember this? Remember this moment in time, our last cycle? So this was last cycle. Remember, we topped out in April. We got up to 65K in April. This is back in 2021, April 2021. We topped out at 65,000. We're in the middle of a bull run. Oh my gosh, the market's going up, the market's going up, the market's going up. And then from April 12th, from Monday, April 12th, to June, we went from 65,000 all the way to 29,000. Huge sell-off into the summer, and then we started reversing and then set bigger all-time highs up at 69,000 later in November of 2021. Then we went into the bear market this go around. We bottomed all the way out here at 16K. We started to bounce in October. Really, November is where we really started to bounce. And then as we began 2023, we started to really come up on Bitcoin. And here we are. I mean, we're on a little bit of a pullback here. I mean, when you really look at this and you zoom out, yeah, we hit 72. We're at 50 right now. Okay, this looks very, very similar to this sell-off happening right here. And there's probably more red to come. But what happened after that? So there are these big type of pullbacks even within a broader bull run. Now this one's a little bit different because it's coming with recession fears and all of that. But as soon as the Feds print more money, the bleeding will stop. Not immediately, but the bleeding will start to stop. I'm not too concerned yet, guys. I really am not, okay? Again, zoom out a little bit. The stock market's still nearly up 13% this year. Even if we look at Bitcoin, year to date, last 6 months, still in the green. I mean, the last year it's up over 100%. So it really does depend on time frames that you're looking at, right? So the Kobayashi letter is talking about the yen carry trade and why did it cause a market downturn. It all started after the Bank of Japan decided to raise rates at their most recent meeting. The BOJ raised rates to 0.25% in their second rate hike since 2007. For years, traders took advantage of these ultra low rates. The yen carry trade, for years, investors would borrow yen at ultra low rates, such as 0.4%, and use yen as a form of leverage. Investors could convert these yen to US dollars or other currencies and get almost free margin. Low rates made this possible. The wide spread between rapidly rising rates in the United States and other countries and negative rates in Japan made it possible. However, as the BOJ began raising rates, this resulted in an unwinding of the carry trade, especially as rate cuts are beginning in the US and EU. As a result, the Japanese yen strengthened and the USD-JPY currency pair just hit its lowest level since December 2023. You now receive 142 yen for every US dollar compared to 160 yen for every dollar a few weeks ago. But here's why this is a key point. As the yen strengthens, many of these yen carry trades are being margin called. Suddenly, the era of free yen loans is coming to an end. As these margin loans are called, the underlying assets are being sold in crashing equity markets. The carry trade is unwinding. The solution to this problem is not as simple as it may seem and may require a separate thread. This is vastly different situation than previous market downturns. For now, we are trading the volatility. A lot of people still trading, guys. And this is, an interesting time for traders. Yep, I've been patiently waiting on NVIDIA. Memes are going to get wrecked the hardest, no doubt about it. Always, 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 always. And this is why consistently take your profits. Am I down in my portfolio? Yes. But if I hodled everything over the past several months and didn't take profits, I'd be in a much worse situation. I've stabled up a lot of that money and got it into cash. Just in, Wharton's Professor Jeremy Siegel calls for a 0.75% emergency rate cut by the Fed. I don't know if we'll get a 0.75% rate cut by the Fed, but I think we're going to get something. Oh, this is okay. This is again coming in from Mario. There is no scheduled emergency Fed meeting now. While the stock and crypto markets around the world plunge into chaos, the Federal Reserve has not officially announced any meeting today, regardless of what Google or ChatGPT tells you. Federal Open Market Committee meeting dates. So we continue to see September 17th and 18th as our dates. So the Federal Reserve is saying there is no immediate meeting scheduled. "30 minutes ago, Kyle says, what do you think happens next? No time to get scared. So this is very similar to what happened in 2021. He's basically showing here, is this the big final dip before the big breakout? Will this look like this? You got to have conviction in this industry, man. Just in, Japan stock market suffers worst losses in history. Largest single day point drop in the index's history, surpassing the previous record set on October 20th, 1987, when it fell by over 3,800 points. Make sure you guys are gearing up and getting ready for the Crypto Breakfast Club today. We'll be live at 9:30 right here on stream, and we'll take it into the Breakfast Club later this morning. So we are, well, about 50 minutes away. 50 minutes away. So definitely be prepared for that. Guys, smash that like button if you have not already. Subscribe to the channel. This is where you come for hard-hitting news. We're not freaking out. We're taking advantage of these markets, guys. We're taking advantage, and we're going to take a look at some of the opportunities. Now, I'm waiting a little bit to start buying like crazy. I'm still waiting for this market open to hit. Of course, we're always buying Bitcoin, and now Ethereum has become a buy as well. Down here at 2,200, Ethereum has definitely become a buy. Bitcoin bouncing a little bit, back up to 51. Keep in mind, we were at 53,000 to begin July. We were at 53,000 to begin July. And I know we went from 70,000 to 50,000 in literally like 10 days. But this is what it's all about right here. This is going to test you. Always. Crypto is always going to test you. And staying in these markets right now is going to be one of the hardest decisions you have to make. But I'm telling you guys, do not leave. Do everything in your power to not leave this market right now. And hopefully, many of you have cash positions to take advantage of what's going on right now. So there are some assets holding up. There aren't a lot of assets in the small cap space holding up, but check out Nero or Niro, depending on how you say it, tomato. This is one we've been talking about for a while. This thing is still sitting at $130 million market cap. It is holding up right now. Despite this market crash, Niro's up 8% on the day. So this is one that we have had conviction in. We've talked about here over the past several days. So you have to look at what has staying power right now. Which ones of these meme coins and small cap gems are going to be able to withstand this punch? You know, we've looked at some of these large caps like Brett, and we're still watching Brett here. I think this is going to be a buying opportunity on Brett, but I'm still waiting here. I want to see market open here and see what happens. But here's your Brett chart right now. Let me bounce myself over on this side. There we go. Here's your Brett chart right now. Big falling knife. Now, are you going to panic? Or do you look at this as a big opportunity? I think this can still come down to about 500 mil when market opens here. I think we're going to have a little bit more sell-off. But if you started a DCA here, I don't think this is a bad move. Not financial advice, guys. You guys know that. But we're looking at the large cap meme coins right now. This is where I would be focused in on. Pepe's down to 2.6 billion. Again, very similar sell-off here. You look at SHIB. Very similar situation. Down to 6.6 billion. Okay, we could break a zero here, guys. We could give it all the way back from when we started to pump in February. And it really depends on where you're at with your positions, how much cash you have. Kendu's back down to 86 mil. We've seen this before with Kendu. We're basically back down to where we were in the beginning of July. Kendu's actually holding up pretty well here. If we continue to hold this line, Kendu's holding up well. I'd expect to bounce off here. But you cannot overreact, guys. You've got to stay even keel, even when the market's up, when the market's down. You've got to focus in and look for opportunities and not freak out. It's not the time to freak out. Now, there are a lot of these meme coins that are going to get hit so hard that they will not be able to survive. And we have to be looking at all of that as well. But we have some ones that are hanging in there. Again, Nairo continues to hang in. Yes, it's been dipping a little bit since its top, but it's holding up nicely here overall. Overall, it's holding up nicely here on the hourly. There you go. Right now, I'm sitting on the sidelines too. I'm with you. Right now, I'm sitting on the sidelines waiting, patiently waiting. Like I said, guys, I'm getting ready to buy stocks this week and most likely some big chunks of Bitcoin. Bitcoin bounced there for a minute, up to like 51 and some change. Now it's back down. Ethereum still holding at 2,200. Solana at 115. Ondo's down to 51 cents. Jasmy's all the way down to $1.50, basically, down almost 30%. I mean, this is very interesting to me. Ondo, Brett, and Jasmy and Pepe, and you know, all of the Chainlink down to 848. Stacks down to $1.09. Now, I wouldn't be obviously going all in on any of these right now, but DCAing and also waiting for market to open here. Japan halted trading, yep. I mean, I think it's definitely a reason to be concerned, but again, if you're playing the long game, it's an opportunity. I'm not going to get shaken out. I'm not going to, sell all my crypto, and I've built up a cash position for these scenarios. But I'm waiting to get confirmation. Even if I miss the bottom a little bit, I want to see some reversal or some Fed pivot, something positive here for me until I go heavy into some big plays here. But I want to see what happens at market open, and we'll be live for it when market opens. August just started. Yeah, I mean, remember July was brutal, a brutal start to the month too. Now Bitcoin did break its July lows, but we're not that far off. We broke down to what, 53,000 beginning of July. We're at 50K right now. What's crazy is, didn't JP Morgan say it's going to be a great month? August is going to be a great month. It shows you that nobody knows. All of these pundits and everything else, nobody knows. So we're hearing that this is not true. Fed's emergency meeting on rates after Japan. The Fed is expected to hold an emergency meeting. We're hearing that this is not true. Taiwan stock market suffers worst losses in 57 years. Lark Davis says, a lot of people rushing to catch falling knives. Be careful out there. Yeah, and what he's saying is here, and I agree with this, guys, do not go all in right now. Do not bulk buy. If anything, dollar cost average. Slowly invest on the way down here because there could be more downside. There could be more short-term downside here. So if anything, I'm DCAing slowly. I'm dollar cost averaging slowly. And the other thing, I want to see market open. And if you're in cash positions, this is the time to have those conversations with the people who run your portfolios, who help you manage things, and make moves accordingly. Because this is how you create generational wealth, is when you have the balls to buy during these downturns. If you're willing and able and you have cash positions, this is how it's done. So I actually got an email back from my advisor. I sent him an email this morning, guys. I want to share this with you guys. And if you haven't hit the like button, definitely do so. I want to share you guys this conversation that I just recently had with my money manager. This is the person who handles my stocks. And I got about 30% of my network and net worth in stocks, about 30% in crypto, and about 40% cash right now. So 40% cash, 30 and 30 in stocks and crypto. That's kind of where I am right now. And I'm kind of comfortable with that. But for the stock market side of things, it looks like I'm going to be adding to some positions. I said, I want to talk about buying the stock market dip this week. Let me know what you think. And my guy said, absolutely, I agree. We get some in this week. We've been expecting the market to come back down to earth a bit. Investors definitely shaking the trees. Always tough to tell how far it can go, but not a bad idea to add some this week since LT Investor. And as we approach 10% down from the top, we can chat today. Best regards. I'm going to say, sounds good. I will be free later this afternoon. So there we go. I'm sure a lot of people freaking out with their portfolios, but guys, I'm not freaking out. I'm looking at what the hell I can buy. Okay? I'm looking at what the hell we can buy on the dips here. I'm not going to be freaking out at all. And again, it all depends on your position and where you are right now, but I'm trying to take advantage of this. All right, what else do we got here? We may see our first circuit breaker since 2020 in the stock market today. Here's what to watch. First circuit breaker, index falls 7%, triggering a 15-minute trading halt. Second circuit breaker, index falls 13%, triggering second 15-minute trading halt. And a third circuit breaker, index falls 20%, shutting down trading for the rest of the day. Buckle up. So we're waiting for market open for sure. Sam Price says, this is a black swan. I have been in the markets for 17 years. This can get very worse. People will continue to tell you to buy the dip, but these are the same people that did not even predict this dip. If you watch me, I was bearish on the daily over a week ago, preparing you to short this market for gains. I would DCA into only strong projects like Sol, BTC, CAS, and I'm only buying Bitcoin at this time for a 10-year hold. I actually agree with this a lot. I agree with this 100%, to be honest. This is the time to buy high conviction plays, not your general meme tokens, guys. If they're meme tokens, they better be Dogecoin, SHIB, Pepe, one of these. You know, one of these top plays. Otherwise, this could get worse before it gets better. Guys, we have 1,200 people live with us. Appreciate you guys for rocking with us here on YouTube and on X. If you guys have not hit the like button and subscribed on YouTube, definitely do so. Appreciate you guys for being here. And we've got quite a few people hanging out with us right now on YouTube. Glad to have you guys. Hopefully I'm a beacon of light here. Okay, and again, smash the like button if you have not yet subscribed. Definitely do so. Hopefully I'm a beacon of light for you, because many people will say, it's all over, it's ending, oh my gosh. You've got to stay even-keeled. You got to have a realistic approach here to where we are, okay? Definitely very interesting times, definitely a little scary, definitely need to be leery and weary of what's going on. See, you're going to see a lot of this kind of stuff. The bull market might be over. I don't think it is, but it might be, and you should have a plan just in case. And this is why I've been telling you guys that, 60% of my net worth right now, or about 40% rather, is in cash. 30% in crypto, 30% in stocks, 40% in cash. Always, always, always have a strong cash position, because you never know when a black swan event could happen. And let's just be honest. Our world has been on edge for a while. So you can kind of see this potentially happening, right? Considering where our world has been for a while. And the stock market has been going up, and it's been kind of a facade, why has it been going up so well and things are still so expensive at the grocery store? It's kind of simple to see that it was kind of inflated, and I think this pullback was more or less needed. Now, is this a little worse than expected? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. 600 people here and only 50 likes on YouTube. Guys, smash the like button for us. Subscribe down below if you have not already. But we could kind of see the writing on the wall a little bit, right? I mean, we had to be a little bit somewhat prepared for something like this happening. I have been adding Solana, but how I've been doing it is basically trading my meme coins. And I did a lot of it yesterday before we even got deeper sell-offs. I took a couple losses, but I put it right into Solana. I've been stacking Solana. Yeah, Solana is one of them, that I do like. I don't think this is the end of the bull run. I don't think this is the end of the bull run personally, but you've got to have a prepared plan in case it is. Warren Buffett has more than $250 billion in cash right now. Stock prices are cratering. Not many opportunities are big enough to make a difference, but let's see what he decides to do in the coming days. So then we've got all of this happening in the background too, this macro stuff that's obviously aiding in all of this craziness in the markets, guys. We've got all of this stuff happening too. Breaking, Biden heads to the Situation Room. Biden reportedly is meeting with his national security team today as Iran threatens an imminent attack on Israel. The potential strike follows Israel's killing of Hamas leaders Ismail Haniyeh and Fuad Shakur. Secretary of State Blinken warned of a revenge attack, and Iran's supreme leader Khamenei No one has the right to doubt Iran's legal right to punish the Zionist regime. The situation remains tense as global leaders call for de-escalation. It's crazy times right now. But you know what? Those who have the ability to stay level-headed and think rationally are going to be the ones who win big, guys. So that's what we're doing right now. We're waiting for market to open. We're going to see what happens with stock prices and crypto prices. Here we go. Stock markets are opening up. Look, we're getting dips right now. 49,700 on Bitcoin. 49,700 as markets are getting ready to open here. Let's get into the 5-minute here on Bitcoin. This is about where we dipped below before. Let's take a look at stock prices here. Tesla's down 4%. Nvidia getting hit. Here's the S&P. Keep in mind, guys, we're about a half hour away from Crypto Breakfast Club. Here you go. Robert Kawasaki says, my apologies, having a drink. Continuing on. Crashes are times when the brave get richer and the cowards get poorer because they sell or do nothing. The world is filled with poor cowards. Be smart, grow some balls, stay calm, and invest when the cowards are quitting. Take care. This right here is huge. All right, we're getting a bounce on Bitcoin here in the 5-minute. Let's see if it's a real bounce. Nope. Man, this is super volatile right now. Great time to trade, too. If you guys are interested and you guys are heavy traders, we've got some great platforms for you. BITUNIX and MargX, links down below, guys, if you're interested in that. One is for leverage trading, that's MargX. And then BITUNIX is for spot. I've got my Bybit link down below too, if you guys are interested in that. Interesting what's happening here on the 5-minute with Bitcoin. We'll continue to watch it here. We're trying to remain strong at 60K here. Appreciate all the people rocking with us here on YouTube. Make sure you guys smash the like button. We're taking this all the way up to 11:30, and it's going to be a big day for the markets. Watching things very, very closely here for the next couple hours, 2.5 hours. We'll be live with you. So if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys do that. Hit that like button so more and more people see us. What's Peter Schiff saying here? Gold is down over 80 bucks. This is actually a bearish sign for the markets, which have crashed to new morning lows with the Dow off over 3%, and the NASDAQ down more than 6%. Gold going down suggests markets don't expect the Fed to come to the rescue with an emergency rate cut. Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, all deeply oversold. U.S. markets opening in 1 hour. Time to get oversolder. The 2024 crash is above. The COVID crash is the one underneath. Looks very similar, doesn't it? That COVID crash is right here. And then look what happened after. I mean, no matter what, guys, if you're playing the long game on crypto and stocks, you've got to look at this as an opportunity. This is why I'm buying today, man. I'm buying it at some point today and even into next week here. Or later this week. That's an interesting looking chart there. Very similar. So we're hearing that the feds will not do an emergency drop, or that all those reports are not true. We don't know for sure, though. We're getting conflicting reports right now. And maybe there's rumors right now, but nothing has come out from the feds. Nothing has come out directly from the feds. We closed last Friday at 219 on Apple. We're right around $200 pre-market here on Apple. We're still pre-market here. Market opens at 9:30. Biggest bull run incoming mid-September, beginning October. I know one thing. Leading up to this election, this is just my sentiment here. Leading up to this election, they are not going to let the markets look like this. If they have any control over what happens here, they're going to have to start printing money and cut rates. I mean, right? I mean, they can't let this market free fall into nothing here leading up in an election cycle, right? If they have any control over this at all, they're not going to let this happen. Am I right? I mean, what do you guys think? So this is a scary time for sure, but I just don't think this is going to play out the rest of the year like this. Things change rapidly with markets too, guys. Things change rapidly. Again, I'll remind you, we were at 53,000 on Bitcoin at the beginning of July. Now this is a big sell-off. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a big sell-off. Here's beginning of July. We went from 72, beginning of June, all the way down to 53. 72 to 53. So far here, we've went from 69 down to 50. I mean, it's a $20,000 dip, basically, is what we're witnessing. 70 to 50 here, and then from June we went from 70 to 50 here, basically. I mean, 72 to 53. We saw a $20,000 dip from beginning of June to beginning of July, and now we're seeing that same dip happen right now. It's just happening faster. I hope so, Crypto Fusion. I hope so, man. I mean, it's just rough. I mean, it's terrible to launch when they did, and there's no telling what's going to happen. Sometimes it's just the timing is brutal. Democrats know Kamala will lose, so maybe they might let markets tank. Let me put myself here. There we go. So maybe they might let markets tank in order to make Trump look bad. But I mean, they have to prop things up leading up to the election to basically say, look what we did, right? They can't go into the election on a free fall like this. I don't think. Unless they want to avoid an election, Zach, with an emergency situation like market crash or war, delaying or postponing an election is on the cards with these people. I don't know about that. I mean, that would be insane. My copper and war stock will boom today. What comes down must go up, boys. Normal sell-off from all-time high almost. Will XRP make me poor? I don't think it'll make you poor necessarily, but there probably will be some faster horses. But XRP has potential. We've talked about that before. We have a position in it, but nothing crazy. Guys, we have 229 likes, but we have like 600 people watching. Like, it's totally free to hit the like button, guys. We should have 500 likes. Can we please hit the like button? It's totally free to do that. And keep your comments rolling in. I'm enjoying the conversation here this morning. We're taking this all in stride, guys. The crypto crash is happening. We're talking about what we need to do. We're watching the markets open here, and we're forming a plan live with you over the next couple hours. I already said that I'm buying stocks today and this week. I'm probably going to be buying some high conviction crypto plays. I've been sitting on a lot of cash for a reason. And you know what? You cannot be scared during these times. You cannot be scared. Scared money don't make money. We talk about it all the time, right? Scared money don't make money. We're tweeting that. Stay calm, think rationally. This is the moment where the rich get richer. This is why having a cash position and always taking profits is so important. That's what we've been doing over the past 6 to 8 months. Building strong cash positions, de-risking where we can. Once we get meme coin gains, get that back into high conviction plays or cash. Just wait for the momentum up signal with your XT algo indicator. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, we'll be watching that. We do have a tool for that. Biggest bear run coming in August 2024. Short sell will be removed from apps. Biden says, come on, man, just lick some ice cream and sniff some hair. XRP channel, that makes no sense. Trump not in charge right now. Okay, you're talking to somebody in chat. Is it a good idea to add Chainlink right now? I think Chainlink under $9 is an absolute steal. But Adnan, I mean, that's not financial advice. That's playing the long game on Chainlink here. If you're playing the long game, and I wouldn't bulk buy right now. That's not what I'm doing. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. I'm not bulk buying, but I am buying slowly. I haven't bought anything yet, though, by the way. I have not bought dips yet. I'm still waiting for this market to open and see where we go today. And I think we're almost at 300 likes, which we should be at 400, but that's fine. We'll take it. Guys, smash the damn like button for us. Should be easy to find. There are many reasons the market will crash dead before the election. The next president will be called the greatest president of all time for saving the U.S. economy. My calculation says Bitcoin 80K tonight. I don't know about that. Trump doesn't need any help to make him look bad. Guys, you can't stop this. Assassination attempts have consequences. Civil war escalates worldwide, leading to banks down to them resettling everything, including their debt. All you have to do is transfer your bags to USDC, let the falling knife continue falling, and then buy when it recovers, Jason says. They couldn't take Trump out, so they attacked crypto. with everything going on, how do you think Wiener AI will do on their launch today? Family Z, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a tough time to launch, that's for sure. But who knows? You never know. There are some things still holding up. Some smaller caps that are still holding up. Nairo's one of them, sitting at 124 mil right now. They're holding up. Bambit on Solana actually holding up. Some good opportunities, though. Overall, some good opportunities. Just really depends on what you want to go into right now, what conviction you have. And again, I'm not bulk buying. I'd just be DCAing here because we could see lower prices. We're in uncharted territory now. We've got to be watching for big news events. We need some type of positive catalyst here. It's all about politics, point blank. Is it time to get out of Gala? Yeah, that's on you, Jason. It's a long-term play. You know, gaming has not come back yet, which has been frustrating. But I think when it does, we're going to see Gala and some of the other large-cap gaming plays make some good moves. But we just haven't seen gaming. And really, we haven't seen the OG altcoins really make that push yet. It's not totally free to hit the like button. It costs energy, bro. Okay, we'll expend some energy. Has your opinion changed about SHIB gaining a zero from this free fall? It's possible. I mean, for sure. If markets look bad before election, looks bad on Dems, all knows Trump can bring it back. Best bet for them is to do everything to pull it back up. I agree. I agree, Joseph. And I think we're going to see some rate cuts here, and they're gonna prop this market up, whether it's done falsely or done like, what do you call it? What's another word for fakely? Fakely is not a word. You guys know what I'm saying, though, right? Artificially. There we go. It's probably going to be artificially propped, would be my opinion. I could totally see an artificial prop up. Everything will be okay. Bitcoin will go up to 100K. September and October will skyrocket. I'm down 50%. Craig says banks will close this week. It's all about the basics. Love the content. Buying more VRA. Love this. Appreciate you, VRA. The market is breathing, and it's always good to take those deep breaths and exhale all the crap in your system. Believe me, Bitcoin will pump crazy starting from tonight. This isn't normal. Credit card debt and defaults at an all-time high because people are charging daily needs. Good morning, Zach. Thanks for being here, man. Beast. You bet, man. Will XRP go lower than 44 cents? It's definitely, everything's on the table right now. Turbo and Brett on major fire sale. Agreed. I like Brett more than Turbo if I'm picking one or the other. Automotive markets diving. What if you're down? I'm not sure why the fear. Me personally, the bull run won't last until this fall, October, December. Right now, it's Black Friday in crypto. Get in at all-time lows. Nothing better than this. XRP was at 37 cents beginning of July. So, yeah, it can definitely dip down below 40 cents. It was at 38 cents, 37 cents beginning of July. Terrence says, suck the blood. Will XRP go lower than 44? It definitely can. Boost AI is the play. I'm down 60%. Mortgage industry faltering. What's up, Z? There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, no, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing this as a big opportunity. Yeah, and this is, the macro's not helping us, obviously. It's not a normal drop. No, but we saw this happen when Russia invaded Ukraine. People freaked out, but then the markets rebounded very heavily. Listen, during these crazy macro events, it's the scariest times, it's the biggest drops, but it's also the biggest opportunities. The best time to create generational wealth are during war times. Look at it historically, and look at it on a long time frame. During these crazy macro events, like war, it is the best time to get wealthy. If you have the cash and the ability to deploy capital. And this is why creating cash positions are so important, especially when the whole world is uneasy and there's always this potential and opportunity for something big to happen. We've got two big wars going on in the world right now. So knowing that things could pop off at any moment, from an investment standpoint, having a cash position is crucial. It's why I'm not freaking out, guys. Yeah, does it suck? Yeah, my portfolio's down. The cryptos that I hold are down significantly. But I also am not 100% invested in all of this. It's not all of my net worth. And this is where people make the biggest mistakes. They over leverage themselves. So you got to decide what you want your stock, crypto, if you have stocks. I have stocks, crypto, starting to get into real estate and cash positions. How do you want that to look? I just mentioned I've got 30% cash, 30% crypto, 30% stocks, 40% cash. That's essentially where I am right now. And luckily, we've been taking profits for several months and making good trades and sitting on cash positions, waiting for this moment. Market's going to open in 10 minutes. We're going to be going live in 10 minutes with the Crypto Breakfast Club, guys. So welcome in. Glad you guys can all be here with us. It's going to be a crazy week. Definitely going to be a crazy week in crypto. I need to make another cup of coffee is what I need to do. Let me quickly make another cup here. Hold on. I'm here, guys, making another cup of coffee. I'm still here. I'm still here. Morning, good people. Morning, Zach. Think once market opens, we can test 1800s, or is 200 our base? I think anything's on the table here. XRP could certainly go lower than that. This sounds like they're trying to do a full market reset, and the crypto market will be the savior of our economy. This is why Trump and Harris are heavily focused on this now and everyone else. Interesting perspective. They did this to manipulate, to kick the noobs out of the markets. Oh, 100%. Japan has a lot to do with this. A lot to do with this. Will XRP go lower than 40? Why do you keep asking that? Oh, never mind. I'm reading from the wrong spot. That's why. You can watch the Breakfast Club right here. We'll be live with the Breakfast Club right here. It'll just be, it's audio. I'll be on video from time to time too, but the Breakfast Club will be right here. Yeah, we got to make sure we have our stuff charged up here. We got to charge up. We got our laptop somewhat charged. Charge up over here while we got about 6 minutes. Get some juice on this thing. There we go. We actually could keep this thing charged up, so that should work actually. All right. Why would anyone get scared of red candles? Red candles are buy time. Also, it's summer. Crypto always dumps in the summer. That is true. Buffett's selling. What kind of bigger sign do you need? Buffett sold. Yeah, but he also sold Apple at the top years ago. At that recent top, and then it went absolutely parabolic. He's not bulletproof. You know what I mean? He's got so much money. He's almost in a league of his own. You can't literally follow him. He has a different set of rules when you have, you know, billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. Yeah, we're 5 minutes away from market opening now. Yeah, and that's what's causing a lot of this fear. Market crashes, housing crashes, unemployment doubles in 1 month. Is BlackRock selling? The big question. Look at Bitcoin between July 31st and August 31st, 2020. Is it very similar? This is Pike Place. Pike Place in my espresso and a little bit of cream. We're waiting for a market open, guys. We're going to get ready for the Breakfast Club. Bull run is delayed, in my opinion. It'll take off a lot to fully cancel the cycle pattern. Do you share this sentiment? Yeah. And I mean, guys, it's a $20,000 dip. We actually just had that. That's what we're talking about in Bitcoin. We just had a $20,000 dip from 72,000 to 53,000. We just went from 50 to 70. Now, I'll bet it's been a lot quicker. But we've had these type of moves. I mean, if you go back into the 1 week on Bitcoin, remember, this is our 2021 cycle here. Right? Thought the world was ending. We went from 64 all the way down to 28. Thought it was over. Thought the top was in. Came all the way down to 28,000, guys, just to rifle back up to 69. Then we hit the bear market, right? This was our deep bear market, all the way down to 15,000 and some change, 16K. And we've been on an uptrend. I mean, this is a big pullback for sure. Definitely a big pullback. But all in all, I mean, this is where we were in March. We've still come up from $15,000, $16,000. Market's going to open here in a couple minutes. That's not coffee? Yes, it is. You just got to have a frother. So I'm not an expert either, and nobody has a crystal ball here. What I personally do is I buy a little bit of Bitcoin every single day. So I'll be buying a little bit more today than I would normally. Other than that, I'm not buying any crypto right now except Ethereum. I bought a little bit of Ethereum yesterday, and I'm waiting for this market to open, and in real time, we'll be kind of talking about our strategy. I am going to be buying stocks this week. But it all depends. Do you have a strong cash position? Are you able to live with what you have, still with investing some of that cash, right? And not breaking the bank. This is why you build strong cash positions. He's lying. It's instant coffee. Okay. It's a pod. It's an espresso pod. Yeah, we're going to be getting ready with market opening, guys, right now. We're going to be going live on the Breakfast Club. You guys know what's happening here. All right, we are starting up the Breakfast Club, guys. So bear with me here. We're going to get it all set up, squared away. Appreciate you guys rocking with us here. And let's get in here and have a conversation. Let's hear what some other people are thinking about and talking about here. It's going to be interesting gaining other people's perspectives. Oh my gosh, it's giving me this crap. I can't start the space again. Why does it do this? Bear with me, guys. I'm hopeful that it's working right now. All right, guys, we had to start another space. So if you guys are listening here for the actual space, it's just... All right, guys, what's happening? Welcome. Sorry, I had to start another space. I don't know why, what happened there. It wouldn't let me start the other one. It's always something with these damn spaces. But welcome in, guys. Obviously, a lot going on with the markets coming down here. Some great opportunities, I think, in the markets. I was just live here. I'm still live for a while. Man, I'm looking at this from a lot of different perspectives. I already, had a phone call already with my stock portfolio guy. I'm going to be looking to buy some stocks today and this week. Slowly but surely DCAing into some of my favorite cryptos too. So we're here to talk about the crash. I want to get some people's perspectives, where they think it's going. Keep in mind, we did have like a $20,000 sell-off from the beginning of June to beginning of July. Remember? We went up to $72,000, came all the way down to $53,000. Now we recently went up to 70, came back down to right around 50. So this pullback obviously has a lot to do with what's going on with Japan, has a lot to do with what's going on around the world from a macro standpoint. But I think this is why it's so crucial that we hold a cash position. So I've been mentioning this on my live, today, guys. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up, or somebody say something. Okay.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
We got you.
So last cycle, I did not have any, I had very, very small cash position as I was building things up. I was very, very much leveraging crypto. It ended up working out okay for me, right? But I would have been able to do so much more if I would have been actively taking profits on small type cryptos like we've been talking about for months, but also just building up a stronger cash / stable coin position if you're looking at it from the crypto standpoint. So right now I'm about 30% crypto, 30% stocks, 40% cash. And I'm slowly but surely getting into real estate. I'm working on getting my first property actually right now. But this is a time right now. I think we watch market open here. We are getting a little bit of a bounce. We'll see here. We watch market open. Me personally here, I'm waiting to see some type of stability or some type of indication that we've bottomed out. Zach, how are you playing this? Are you already trading? Are you shorting?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Oh man, I started Friday, literally shorting the market. I saw this coming. That's why I've been kind of subliminally preaching, because I can't give financial advice. It's only my opinion, but I got out of a lot of small positions, consolidated it, and pretty much put it in a stable coin. And I'm waiting for this dip. I see what I see happening, watching the stock market, everything. I see Bitcoin potentially going to 45 and holding there for a little bit. That's what I see. So I'm literally just shorting Bitcoin and keeping money on the side and waiting. I got into this new play today called B is the Meme God. It's on Solana. I got in about 100,000 market cap. It's the only one. It's up 1,113% right now. We can go through that later, but that's pretty much it. I'm trading, just shorting the market, really. I mean, you can see, oh my God, just the long positions getting squeezed out so bad and it's tanking. And then, war on the horizon, stock market crashing, all of that. So it's not looking pretty, but it's also an opportunity. And the reason I say that is I feel like people forget that they can sell and get right back in. Do you know what I mean? Why would I hold it and wait for it to crash when I can throw it to a stable, wait a few days, and then get into a better position? It's not like I lost anything. It's just I'm getting in a way better position and not losing money on the way down. So that's the way I'm playing it. I still think we're going to see more of a downswing. I'm watching the stock market on this space as we speak, but for me, stablecoin is everything at the moment.
That's a good point. I want to open up a couple things here, and guys, feel free to come up. This is a big day, and this is going to be a big week. This really makes or breaks you as an investor. I think these times, right? These difficult times makes or breaks you as an investor. And I know a lot of you guys have stayed with us throughout this entire market, the bull run, bear run, all of that. By the way, we've got some great traffic right now on YouTube and Twitter. 1,600 with us. A lot of people checking in here because the market's crashing. This is where you really make your bread, though. The wealthiest people in the world, they get rich during these big pullbacks and downturns in the market. There's an old saying like war times are the best times to get rich because the people with capital get richer. And this is why having that cash position is so important. I want to say a couple things here, Zach, though, and just kind of get your perspective. Back in 2021, we had the big drawdown, right? We had the big pullback before then we went up and set all-time highs. There's a lot of similarities between how the charts are playing out. I'm sure you guys have seen some of those parallels. Even during COVID, that crash, the charts look very similar there. Do you think this is, one big opportunity, a big shakeout? I mean, we even saw with Russia, Ukraine, and that whole World War III fear. Remember, everybody panic sold, and then guess what happened? The markets came back ripping. And how does that all play into the election later this year? Are they going to start cutting rates? We're hearing conflicting reports of the Fed stepping in here before September and immediate rate cuts. Where are you at with all of this, just kind of more macro outlook?
Yeah, all I can say is max capitulation. That's what's going on right now. And this is exactly what happens before the huge upswing for the bull run. So it's not shaking me out. It's just, you have to be smart with your money, and I feel people are scared to make a move. And for me, if you just hold, you're going to get screwed a little bit when you could easily just move it to a stable coin. I know not everyone's a trader and can't see, down the line a little bit what's going on. But at this moment, like I said, Friday, not financial advice. If people move to a stable coin, after 48 hours, they would be in a way better position. Even selling that Bitcoin right now, it doesn't matter because right now you can get in and you're at a lower way lower cost average right now. And that's what a lot of these big players are doing. I mean, we're talking huge money, and that's what they do. And that's why they stay successful in the game, So that's my personal opinion. I'm not suggesting everyone do that because you still have to know what you're doing in order to do that. But I still see a downward turn. I'm not trying to be, a bear in it, but I'm watching. Look at the stock market. Look at everything. Everyone's selling. Wars, all kinds of stuff is going on. And if you're just a sitting duck, you're going to lose money. You can easily lose it, 6 months going in the upswing. Now, just waiting 48 hours, we're down so much. And I don't care if you're a $100 million project, everything's going down a little bit. And there's no reason you can't move that money to a stable and then get it into a better position in those plays. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm all set. I'm waiting. I said I'm not buying until Tuesday, which is tomorrow. I'll be able to see what today does, and then I'll probably DCA into really some good project plays. And if I waited and didn't move that money, I would be screwed right now at the moment. That's my personal opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion, but you asked me on that one. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, and shorting Bitcoin because it's easy at this moment.
Yeah, for sure. Timing the market is difficult. I mean, Zach, obviously you've got, years under your belt of timing it up a little bit, and knowing you're not going to time it perfect, I think is important. If you're playing just the long game though, right? Like I wouldn't be bulk buying today. Again, not financial advice here, guys. I'm just giving you guys my 2 cents. DCAing is still a good thing, and I would be DCAing into high conviction plays. And for me, I'm starting with stocks. I have a meeting this afternoon with my portfolio manager. I bought like crazy when the pandemic hit. I bought like crazy when the Russia-Ukraine war hit, and I'm going to be buying crazy right now, stocks. Okay? And I know maybe there's crypto maxis out there or whatever. I'm not one of those. I have stocks. I have crypto. So I'm starting there. And like Zach just said, I really wanted to see market open here and just kind of watch things play out a little bit, get some indication of where we are, right? More data equals better decisions. The more data we can get, especially during these crazy times, we can have a little bit better confidence in where we're going if we've maybe started to consolidate or what have you, right?
Correct. But it's so the volatility right now, there's no reason for me to DCA right now at this moment. Maybe I'll have a better understanding maybe later, today, after the market, see what they do during this, the right now at this moment, and see where it closes. And then I'll have a better understanding. I can chart it a little bit. But at this moment, I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching it. My money's put to the side since Friday, and I'm just shorting Bitcoin at the moment. That's it. And you know what I mean? And I feel bad for some of those people that, got just liquidated so much. I mean, you got to make moves. This is crypto. You can't be a sitting duck, and I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter if you're in the best meme coin. It's all tanking right now. So if you move that, if you got out of that position, moved it to a side and pegged that to the dollar, if you buy in tomorrow, you're in a better position already since Friday. So that's the way I look at it. You're not going to hit everything. I would definitely stay in the top, 5 meme coins, stuff like that. It'll be less volatile, but the 100 million and below, that's a very risky one. There will be some memes that pop out of this that will do well, but they're definitely not a hold. They're a quick trade at the moment, but doesn't mean I'm going to knock it back into those positions. I will. I just want to buy at a cheaper price like everyone else, but you have to make moves in order for that to happen, because all those gains that everyone made in 6 months is just lost. Unless you got in super early. I'm talking about the people, that got in the last 3 months or, last week, stuff like that. But that's why you come to these spaces. And yeah, I see you can do it with your hand up. Please retweet the space if you come up as a speaker. Let's get this thing popping. I mean, this is a lot of alpha that's going to be dropped today on this channel. So in this space. So thanks, Zach. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, a lot to get to today, and we're going to get to everybody, I promise you. There's a lot of rumors out there. Jerome Powell, potentially stepping in. Do we need an emergency rate cut? There were some conflicting reports this morning that news had surfaced. Recently, the most recent report is that is false, that they have not said anything yet. But maybe where there's smoke, there's fire. We'll see. But as stock market has opened up here today, guys, we have seen almost $2 trillion wiped out from the U.S. stock market so far today. And again, you can look at this two different ways, right? You can look at it as, oh my God, panic, let me run back into my hole and not talk to anybody and freak out. Or you can look at it as one big massive opportunity. And it really comes down to, what's your time horizon look like, right? And if you're bullish on this thing the next 5 to 10 years, why would you be freaking out, right? Finding a way to put yourself in a position to be able to dollar cost average and buy during these opportunities. And that's why over the past several months, we've been stressing taking profits on small cap gains, either A, putting it into less risky investments, or B, into cash, right? So I want to get paid up here. We've got a bunch of other speakers. Guys, come on up. Make sure you guys share the room. Please share the room out there. I want to get a lot of people here. We're slowly but surely getting people up here. I know Mars got his hand up. We'll get to Paid real quick. Paid, what's going on, man?
Yo, listen. Up in the nest, I just posted an application for McDonald's. So I suggest everyone in the room download that. We're all gonna bulk apply, because I don't know if we're all gonna make it anymore. I don't know what's going on. I see blood in the streets. I think I'm bleeding. I don't know if anyone else is bleeding, but I'm bleeding a little bit. So just in case, for everyone out there who's a little worried, up top is an application for McDonald's. We can all make it that way. We can McLovin. Like I said, Zach from Somebody's laughing. We can all make it that way. That's one way to do it. Honestly, I'm not even that worried. But you know what's kind of crazy, Zach? Rare Evo actually saved a chunk of my portfolio, because I didn't have enough cash to get all this stuff booked for Rare Evo that you're going to reimburse me to fly out for. So I was like, you know what? Let me sell a bit of ETH. And literally 2 days later, it collapsed. I'm like, ah! I was like, oh, shit. The whole fucking one. So Rare Evo literally saved my life. I was like, oh, shit. If I waited one more day, I would have fucking killed myself. Yo, that shit's crazy. But no, listen, yeah, there's definitely blood in the streets. I do agree with what Zach from Subway is saying, but I also kind of disagree. Because you could definitely get out and, liquidate some positions, put it in, a stable, and it could keep dropping. But the other side is true also. It could flip and reverse just as quick as it fell. And you sold your shit off, and then now you got to buy it at a slightly higher price than where you're already at. Sometimes it is good just to hold. That's just my personal opinion. And plus, I don't feel like trading all day, so I'd rather just hold. I'll watch it go down a bit and then do something else. Obviously, not on, the small caps, anything under 100 mil. But, Cardano, all those, I'm not going to sell Cardano right now. I'm not going to sell Solana right now. I'm not selling those right now. I'll just hold. I don't give a fuck. If it goes down, guess what? I'll DCA in more, and then I'll be all set. But, again, this thing can flip around in 3 hours. I don't think it's likely, but anything possible. We're in crypto. Shit doesn't shut down. The markets, the stock, traditional markets have halted already. I think Robinhood was completely stopped today. So, you can't trade on Robinhood at all right now, according to, some news reports I was reading. And I think Japan also stopped trading as well. All of Japan, you can't trade shit right now because they're fearing, more sell-off. In my opinion, if you're in crypto and you've been in crypto before, you're already dead inside. This doesn't even faze me. This is just another Monday. If this went to 10 grand right now, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would just it's time to buy some more shit. It's just time to buy more shit. It's a fire sale. I'm not mad. Listen, if your favorite car was on sale right now, say, I don't know what your favorite car is. Say your favorite car is a Corvette, whatever, right? Same car, but the next day it was 30% off. Are you telling me if you had the money, you wouldn't go get it? 40% off, you'd be like, no, fuck that car now. It's not worth anything. No, you're going to still probably buy the car. So it's the same shit with crypto. Again, there's multiple ways to do this, and there's no right way. That's why there's never financial advice. But that's the way I'm looking at it. For the top 100 stuff, I'm not moving anything. Nothing. I'm going to be honest with you. If Solana keeps going down, it's fine. I'll keep buying in at lower prices. It hasn't hit my personal price point, so I see no point in selling and moving to stables as of right now. But that's just me, and good morning. And also, like Mutasa said last week, just play dead, guys. He said that last week on the show. I already said 2 weeks ago, hey, be dead inside. But Mutasa literally said last week, just play dead. When they say all this bullshit coming out, just play dead. That's it. Listen, I'm telling you, be dead inside. If you're new to crypto, you're not dead inside yet, this should be the moment where you're like, fuck, McDonald's application is above just in case.
No, appreciate that, man. I think, to Matasco's point and your point there, being able to stay even keel and just kind of emotionless right now is very, very important, because it's very, very easy to make a split decision right now based on emotions, based on fear, based on being scared. So the better decision is to walk away, wait a day, wait 2 days, come back with a refreshed mind if you really find yourself kind of discombobulated. But I will tell you guys this is why having a well-diversified portfolio, I know it sounds fucking cliche, right? But don't over leverage yourself. Quit over leveraging yourself. Having a cash position sitting here today is a totally different animal than being totally leveraged, right? If you have a cash position, now you're making calls to your investment guys, or you're looking for, okay, where's the best opportunity? Where's the fire sale? Where can I start to DCA? If you don't have a cash position, that's where you freak out and start selling for losses and making those big mistakes and getting yourself out of the market. One of the things we always talk about, stay in the game. Stay in the game. And the only way you can do that is by not over leveraging yourself, because this is going to happen in crypto. You're going to get 20 to 25% pullbacks. It's going to happen. So when it does, all the things that you can control, right, is all we need to focus on. Control what we can control and prepare yourself. Go ahead, Pate.
Yeah, and the other thing is, a lot of people forget, like, we've been pumping, guys. Like, let's, relax for a second and look at the chart, look at everything, look at the stocks. Stocks have been at all-time highs for a little while now, up until recently. Bitcoin just hit all-time highs recently as well, and everyone's panicking now. It doesn't make any sense, dude. And, and the other thing I'm going to hate. Go ahead.
No, just to that point. So here was my email. Okay, I'll tell you guys my email this morning to my investment, my portfolio manager. This is for stocks. I said, hey, I want to talk to you about buying up this stock market dip this week. Let me know what you think. Hopefully we can meet up later this afternoon. I'll be free, afternoon, after 12 o'clock. Hope all is well. He writes back immediately. So he's already up. I'm sure everybody's blowing him up. Absolutely agree with you. We get some in this week. ... We've been expecting the market to come back down to earth a bit. Investors definitely shaking the trees. Always tough to tell how far it can go down, but not a bad idea to add some this week since LT investor, and as we approach 10% down from the top. Let's chat today. Best regards. So again, DCAing, right? And last Friday, we moved a little bit of money into the money market, which right now you can earn 5% on your money, guys. 5% on your money in the money market, okay? So these are the sort of conversations that need to be had during these downturns, right? This is strategizing. This is preparing. This is actively getting yourself in a position, not freaking out, not emotionally making decisions, right? And again, if this was me back in 2020 and 2021, I'd be running for the hills. I wouldn't know what the hell's going on. But this is just, hopefully people are learning from this. Yeah, go ahead.
And Zach, real quick, and the other thing that's going to happen, I've already seen it happen on X and on YouTube and other places, is, this is Biden-Harris's fault, blah, 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 blah. Okay, sure. But when the markets were at all-time highs a couple months ago, there was no credit there. And again, I'm not trying to be political here, but this is what I'm already seeing. And people are like, this is why you got to vote for Trump. It's like, yes, but it doesn't matter what's happening. Markets will do what the markets do regardless of who's in office. All-time highs for Bitcoin was under this administration. All-time highs for stocks were under this administration. You can say stuff was set up before with Trump. You can say blah, blah. And I would agree with all that as well. But don't get sucked into this whole political narrative right now saying one side, Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. One side or the other is the reason stuff is happening. And guys, this is a global situation right now. Japan's getting fucked right now. Let's be honest. But you know what I like about this? My tea house is going to be cheaper, y'all. Hey, everyone, we going to Japan. We're buying a house this weekend right now. Y'all better see me out there. We are going to Japan, baby. Tea house. Black man's tea house is opening up. We're going to be over there. Mutasko's going to be in the one room. Marsha, he's coming, and Zach's are going to be there also. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to get to Mar and Kendu here, but real quick, speaking of Japan, guys, Japan is the world's third largest economy. Third largest economy. It just experienced its worst day since Black Monday of 1987, which was the largest single day decrease in the stock market history. So that's what's happening right now. We recently had the worst day in the US stock market on Friday, worst day since COVID started back in 2020. Okay, so we needed some type of big pullback, but this is a global phenomenon. I mean, to Pade's point, this is really not about who's the president or not. This is much bigger than that. This is a global recession fear that's happening right now. Globally, we're uneasy based on having two wars going on right now. But again, we're saying all of this negative stuff. This is where millionaires become billionaires, guys. Literally, this is where millionaires become billionaires, and 100,000aires become millionaires. If you've got the capital and the balls, this is what it takes. These opportunities, this is where you get wealthy. This is where you get rich. You don't get rich chasing green candles. Period. Mar, what's up?
What's up, Zach? Oh, man. I will say good morning, but I don't know if it's a good morning, but good morning to everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. Hope everyone is buying. Yeah, everyone, we all see, I don't disagree with what Zach or Pay says because for me, I'm just a little different, but I can't disagree because everyone has their ways of investing. Like, for instance, it's complicated. I could stay here for hours and explain all the details, but it all depends, the position when you got in, if you want to try to time the market. Like, for instance, my Bitcoin, I got in at Bitcoin under 20K. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I'm not going to time the market with Bitcoin, but I also have a trading Bitcoin. Not a whole Bitcoin, but I have a Bitcoin where I try to time the market with it, and I did sell off that Bitcoin because it's a trading Bitcoin or a swing trade Bitcoin. I could sell it in 2 months. I could sell it 3-4 times in 1 week, But remember, I've always told you guys, I got into blue chips during the FTX collapse. Can it go back down to those prices? You just never know. But I'm not gonna time the market with those positions. I'm just gonna leave them there, and see what it does. And if it goes back down to those prices, it's just complete chaos. Like, who could call that? Who could call that? Like, I believe the risk of this will go more up than towards that price. And I truly believe, like I've always said, holding long term is what builds wealth. I like to time the market with my trading coins that I have. Like, I have a few IVACs for trading. I have a few Bitcoins, Ethereum, but mostly, my portfolio is long term. I think buying is now, but not everything. If you have, let's say, $10,000 you want to get into the market, or $5,000, depends how much money you have. You use that percentage now to buy now. I would not take a chance to wait even another minute. That's my opinion, not financial advice. I will buy now. I will buy Ethereum at 2,200, whatever it is now, but not everything. Maybe, let's say you want to right now buy $5,000 worth of Ethereum. Go in with a little less than half of that money and then start to DCA. It's kind of confusing times right now. Back in 2021, when we hit the bear market right on Thanksgiving, day when all the families were supposed to get together and talk about crypto being the future, it plummeted, it nuked. And you could feel the bear market. But now times are different, Zach. It feels, but it doesn't feel like we could probably go into a little bearish. So I wouldn't risk it by getting out of a position. If you're holding your Bitcoin long term, again, depends on the price you got in at. If you don't feel comfortable with the price, it's up to you. It's complicated to tell people, 100% what to do, but I for sure am buying. I'm not going to take a chance, and I'm buying, IVAX. I posted a link, but I did post on the comment section, my secret coin. I've been doing my homework on it. This thing is going to be a monster, I believe, in the future. It's sitting like at a $59 million market cap. Look at it. They have a lot of contracts with government. This is just a different beast. And like I said,
Morning, man.
This is one that I've been looking at. I was waiting for a moment like this. I wanted to come in big, And when I'm talking big, I'm talking about more than 10K. But I did not go in with 10K. I went in with around $3,500, and I'm waiting little by little. If it keeps going down, if it doesn't go down, I'll keep that $3,500 position. But I hope it goes down more. I hope it goes down to 1 cent. And that's the mentality of someone that buys when there's blood on the streets. This is normal for the market. I know that I'm getting a lot of phone calls, people panicking. The first thing they have in their mind, zero, like it's going to zero. But just blow it out. Blow out the 5-year, Bitcoin, and you will see that if you hold, you will make money. Just be careful trying to time the market with your long-term position. Again, not financial advice, but yeah, man, there's just a lot of I called to my alpha team and a few people that are in here. We're about to get nuked. That Japan news. You got the war. I mean, you have a bunch of stuff, but you know what? What concerned me the most, and I said, I think on your space the other day, Zach, I know I said it in the Crypto Alliance, cash rules. Whenever there's a recession, cash rules, buying. I think I'll start getting scary or panicking just a little bit, but I'll still be buying if I'm panicking. If I start to see, especially in my city, Miami, Dade County, property prices going down. Rate cuts, if right now they're having a meeting right now, the Fed. If they do rate cuts, prepare for a nice pump in the market and then an even worse dump. Because if they do rate cuts right away, that shows fear. And the people that really know the game, all of a sudden the Fed is having a meeting, they're going to do rate cuts, they realize they fucked up, and at the end, rate cuts will do deflation, and the market would, at the beginning it's going to be nice, but I think rate cuts will make the market bleed even more on a longer term. That's just my take, and I believe rate cuts are going to come because the big boys, like Elon Musk, they're going to pressure the Fed, because the Fed, they don't know shit. They're fucking clowns running that shit. They might be smart people, but they're clowns. There's way more smarter people that could be running, this industry. But, just be prepared, and that's what I say. I still think it's time to buy now. Just DCA, like I've always said, and be careful. Just trying to time the market, because at the end, crypto is young. It's only $2 trillion. I don't know how much money, do the math, how much money, 10%, 15% of money it's in there as liquidity. Any second, boom, it will pump and leave you behind on your position. And you're not going to buy at higher prices when you're so lower,
That's good stuff, Mark. Yeah, speaking of Bitcoin dominance, up to 56% right now. So 56% of the overall market is Bitcoin. Surprisingly, guys, we're getting a nice little bounce here on Bitcoin. We opened up obviously at 9:30 there, and Bitcoin was at 49,000 and some change. We're kind of sending up. I mean, and this is what's crazy. Okay, in a 20-minute span, we went from 49,000 to 53.5, 53.6. That took a second. Okay, so this is what 53.7. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this is how quickly things can change. And I'm not saying we're out of the woods here, but I mean, we lost $20,000 to the Bitcoin price in 8 days, guys. remember, this is the most volatile market in the world. So if you can't stomach the volatility, go invest in stocks. Right? I mean, crypto's not for everybody. Go ahead, Mar.
No, sorry to interrupt. Real quick before I forget, Japan and all this, but a friend of mine that's really into stocks, he goes, bro, crypto's going to get nuked. Look at all the sell-offs from the stock market recently. Don't lie that all this money is going to go to crypto now. It's going to get nuked anytime, and he was right. He was right. There's trillions of dollars coming out of the stock market,
Yeah, 100%. And like I just said a few minutes ago, this could literally turn around at any moment. Literally any moment. And that's why me personally, I'm not taking anything off the table. This could go right back up to 60K and everyone's like, oh, fuck.
No, it isn't. It's a stock market crash. I've been saying this. I've been telling everybody. Nobody will listen to me.
Hey, yo, who the fuck is that? What are we doing here? Like, what? What is it? What? I know. You didn't just come up on our stage, dude. I don't even know what that was. We're going to skip over that real quick.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Like Eleanor, just put your just put your hand up. All right, yeah, she got the picture now, or he got the picture. Kendu, I think you were up next. I want to get to everybody here. And shout out to Go ahead, Kendu. Yeah, we'll get to everybody up on stage. Go ahead, Kendu.
Hey, Zach, GM, long-time listener, first-time caller. Good morning to you too, Zach from Subway and GM paid XPO. Zach, I know you're a big fan of Ken Duino, so I'll just give you a little recon of what's been going on in the community, and I'll make this very short and sweet. The sentiment is we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck what's happening in the market. We don't give a fuck what's happening in Bitcoin.
All right, and I kind of don't give a fuck about this conversation right now because we're talking about the global markets and the crash that's happening. Like, what is going on, people? Like, what are we doing today? Today, we're talking about the macro. We're talking about this stuff. I don't want to hear a show for one coin today. I don't even care. I'll drop you down and I'll block you, so you'll never be able to get back in the room ever. Today, we're talking about the macro. We're talking about stocks. Don't show your coins. Period. That's it.
Paid's playing hardball today, man. Shit.
Oh, we ain't playing today.
Oh, yeah. Paid's crazy.
The macro is
you paid.
He's on another one.
The macro is community and high conviction. And no matter what's happening in the macro, if you want to make money, you find high conviction plays and you get the fucking work. That's all I got to say.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. 100%. These are the days where you double down on high conviction. And there's nothing higher, on my conviction ladder than Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin every single day, guys. Been buying it since April 2022, and you better believe I'm buying today. I'm buying more than I usually DCA into every single day. Okay? And I've said this before. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only 10-year assets right now in my crypto portfolio. Everything else is a trade. That could change, but everything else is a trade. I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, which, by the way, make up, 17% of the market? Or excuse me, 70% of the market? I know there's a 7 in there. It makes up 70% of the overall market, okay, of this $2 trillion market cap that Mar talked about. We look at that as a totally different asset, right? Totally different type of asset, because those are the only two with ETFs. They're the only two that, to me, are looked at as like a 401k type investment. Everything else is a trade. Everything else is a trade. Let's get to Max.
100.
You agree, Zach?
Oh, 100%. And like when I say I move over to a stable coin, it's only for a small period of time. I'm not saying sit there for fucking 3 or 4 months. I'm talking 4 or 5 days here just to get in a better position. But remember, I'm a trader, so not everyone can do that. You know what I mean? And to me, it's nothing. Who cares? If I didn't do that, I'd be down. So for me, I can, I'm waiting until tomorrow and I'm going to buy a shitload of Bitcoin again. But I'm just waiting to see how today plays out. So when I say stuff, it's more for this kind of trading stuff is short term. So, and I'm watching them, the markets go down, everything. And, I predicted it Friday. I was kind of subliminally saying move to a stable coin, but But it really, like Mark said, it has to do with your position, where you bought it at, what's going on, everything. It's really on yourself, on where you're at, when you bought it. Do you want it? How much money do you have to spend? So what I do is not for everyone, and what you do is not for everyone. So, that's why this overall macro stuff we talk about, it's nice hearing people's perspectives on this market. So I agree with you, Zach.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, since our real big shift in the markets, which really started, I think, October 2023 for crypto, is where we really started to bounce up. There's been constant fears from the macro, like with, 2 different wars going on. I mean, we've heard this whole World War III narrative for a while. So actively taking profits along the way has to be part of the equation here, especially, again, with everything that's outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't discriminate against anything in the market, but you have to see shit for what it is. So if you've been hodling some brand new meme coin forever and now you're wrecked 50%, I hate to say it, but you got to take it on the chin and not make that mistake again. You know what I'm saying? Free Trump, let's go to you. Go ahead, man. And by the way, guys, we've got over 1,600 people live with us on YouTube and X. Shout out to everybody. We'll get to Free Trump here in just a second. If you are listening on either live stream on YouTube or X, make sure you guys share it for us. Definitely helps it out. Spread this out. We want to get more and more people in here. Obviously, if you're listening on the live stream, you want to contribute to the conversation, come on over to X, join the space. We'll bring you up here, and we'll get to everybody. Free Trump, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I was like, I woke up this morning thinking, is it 8:30 yet? Is it 8:30 yet? I got to hear what everybody's saying, because what an interesting weekend. But this just goes to show, like, what everybody's been talking about since this spaces began, of being diverse, and goes back to, in my opinion, and sentiment, real world assets and the tokens that correlate with that. So, like, I mean, yeah, everything I have except one coin is like got smacked. This morning I looked at it, I was like, there's no way that one did that. There's no way that one tanked that. Oh yeah, they did. Except one, and that was the Harris coin on Ethereum. And I mean, I talked about that one back in the day, but that was just in case she gets elected on November 5th. I'm like, that's not a bad one, because I'm all about political meme coins. And any other meme coin, obviously. I don't own Bitcoin, and I never have. And I just wanted to chime in I shouldn't say I never have. I have, but I don't own any Bitcoin now. Why? Because, all right, I know we're going crypto. I know we're going cashless. Crypto is the future. There's just no argument about that. It's going to be the future. We are going cashless. But I just don't see it giving me a return as a return that I could get owning real estate. So Bitcoin might give me, like, I think maybe a 10x in my lifetime, possibly, maybe. But I can get that in less than 4 years with real estate. So the investors, everybody's different. But I heard somebody, I don't remember who it was because I was doing something, but I heard somebody this morning already say 30% this, 30% that, and what they're invested in, like the stock market and all this stuff. And I thought, hey, that's smart, because if I was younger, like I'm ancient, but if I was younger, like if I was 20, I wouldn't have real estate. I wouldn't have stocks on Wall Street. I would have crypto, and only crypto. And I would be working my 9-to-5 job, just buying crypto, living at home with my folks still, if I was 20 years old again. Or be in the army, living in a barracks, and then truly having nothing, because you'd be partying every weekend and you wouldn't have a dime saved up. That's like the most irresponsible financial people in the world, is military, but enough of that. But the diversifying your portfolio, man, I'm such a small percentage of my stuff is in crypto, but it's fun, it's entertaining, and there is so much opportunity here to hit a home run, or even a ground rule double. Like, you could always make money. And just because it hits like this for a few days, I mean, this is the biggest opportunity, man, for somebody to get in right now and just be like, okay, throw a dart at the board right now. And this is where you could probably do something, get some major gains. H-bar right now is under 5 cents. I mean, at least it was when I looked this morning. Dude, in my opinion, that thing is an absolute steal at a nickel. Because in a couple of years, if I told you what I think that one's going to do in 18 months, I mean, everybody would be rushing right now to get on that one. But I tell you what, blue chips are down. So just seeing the whole market being like this, and whoever said the streets are bloody or everything's bloody, yes, when it gets bloody, that's when you buy, even if it's just a tiny amount. But this shakes out so many new people. It's like, what are you scared of? I mean, what are you scared of when this thing is tanked? That's when you should be celebrating, not because you just got wiped out because you bought at the top, but take that, take the rest of what you have left. Like I said yesterday, I know you still have money in your couch cushions. I mean, I know you still have money in the console of your car. I was going to say ashtray, but then nobody would know what I was talking about. But there's people that you still have some money. And not only that, right now, today, is an amazing time to throw a couple bucks back in.
No, appreciate that, man. And this is, we've said this already on the space, this is why you don't over leverage yourself. Because when these moments come, the worst feeling in the world is not having a cash position, not having a stable coin position, not being prepared for a 20, 30% dip. I mean, just this morning, guys, we're getting altcoins. And here's the thing. If you're a trader, and I know Zach is, this is a trader's paradise right now. Just this little bounce the last hour. I've watched XT Algo, my trading indicator. Yeah, shameless plug. Check it out. I've watched it call here in the last 30 minutes on Jasmy, 14% reversal. Ondo Finance, 15% reversal. We went from 50 cents to 60 cents on Ondo. You can make money in the past hour. There you go. There's always opportunities. Always opportunities. Eleanor's laughing, but you obviously don't know anything about XT Algo, and you came in here, whatever, but check it out, bro.
Shots fired, bang bang. Yo, you got two hosts against you right now. It's Zach from Subway.
Eleanor, what do you got? What do you got for us? You better redeem yourself. What do you got?
Here's what I got.
Okay.
What I predict is going to happen is that you better keep your Bitcoin because it's going to be somebody's going to use it in the future. That's all I'm going to say about that Bitcoin. But yeah, everything's changed now because the whole market's crashing. So we don't know what's going to happen in the election coming up. This is really exciting for me.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's go to Mike, what's happening, man? Mike's from my hometown too. What's going on, man?
Zach, how are you doing? It's great to be in the space. Long-time listener. I am a big macro guy, big securities guy. Been in the crypto game for about 4 years now. What I'm seeing is positive for the Bitcoin and crypto community, and I'm going to tell you why. The U.S. economy has made a big bet on AI and NVIDIA. And I'm a big foreign policy guy and foreign affairs, and we have interesting things happening right now. What I think is the return on investment and the runway for AI is being exacerbated. We've seen in the last week interesting news from Intel. Their stock price dropping 20%. They're trying to onboard semiconductors here in the States. And why that's a huge problem is that those projects now are at risk. And if the U.S. now diverts its attention to the Middle Eastern conflicts, does that make Taiwan an easy position and a sitting duck for China? I don't know if anybody realizes the implications for the U.S. economy and our markets if China were to make a move while we are pulled into a Middle Eastern conflict. But what I think macro-wise is if you're looking for crypto opportunities right now, I think it's going to pull a lot of cash that has been into the market, even some legacy boomer cash. And it's going to start pulling it into crypto because our market has been propped up by the idea that AI is the fourth industrial revolution, okay?
And what we're seeing right now is the runway for application for AI is simply too long. It's taking too long to get applications for companies to use for return on investment. So if our market is propped up by this fourth industrial revolution, it's taking too long to come along. You couple it with semiconductors not being able to be built here stateside fast enough, you're going to have, I think, legacy cash sitting around waiting for a better ROI. And I think it's going to enter the crypto space because I think what we're going to do is we're going to enter a recession here. And the recession is going to be quite long. And during that recession, I think old legacy money is going to get pulled back into the crypto market. I think we're going to see a switch here. I think we're going to see a fundamental switch here as to where these monies are where the money is being put. So I'm excited, and I think we have kind of a fundamental switch here. Unless we get some type of miraculous fourth industrial revolution here with AI fast, we have a stagnant U.S. economy. It's going to be stagnant for years here, and I think money's going to float into the crypto space.
Oh, crypto. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. You know what's looking really pretty at the moment? Not financial advice, but bone. We got ETH Toronto coming up. Things can change very, very quickly in a couple weeks. So like I said, when I moved my money over to the stable coin starting Friday, I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity. And if you see a huge swing tomorrow, that'll probably be me eating up the bone dip. Not financial advice, but what's coming around ETH Toronto, I think it's going to be epic, honestly. So, I know I'm not trying to shill here, but Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu. And that's all I got to say at the moment. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be out at ETH Toronto, guys.
If you say that 3 times in the mirror, little Shiba appears behind you in the mirror.
Yeah, I'll be out at ETH Toronto, guys. I'll be bringing you up to speed on what's going on out there. But, going back to Mike's comment, bringing this back to kind of the macro, it's a really interesting perspective, and I think it's a big picture perspective. I agree with you, man, because we've been waiting for Bitcoin and crypto to be that true hedge against inflation, and I think the market has just been too small. But now the ability there with ETFs, I think we are going to start to see some of that big money. There's a lot of money, I think, that's been waiting for this dip. They didn't want to buy, at 65, at 70, at 72. Now back down here to, under 50, we've already seen a little bit of a reversal. I think this opens the door for Bitcoin and Ethereum especially to really become that place where, just imagine if these big corporations, big companies start putting a little bit of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. We've already seen 4 states create a Bitcoin, put Bitcoin in their pension funds. This is a snowball long-term catalyst, these ETFs. And I think we can't lose sight of that. It's not a one-off. It's not a one-off catalyst. So why are you guys laughing? Hello? I can't hear you guys. Did the space rug? Hello? Zach, are you there? Is somebody there? What's going on?
No, shut up.
Leash.
What's actually happening here?
Let's hope everything doesn't rug because, this will be the only way to communicate in the future. So I'm just letting everybody know I'm going to be here to hold your hand.
Can you guys hear me?
Well, Pave, let's go to the next speaker. We got Max with his hand.
What the fuck?
successful leverage trades this morning, not long ago, on that last little Bitcoin pump. So, you guys, there's always opportunity in the market. Yesterday it was blood red, but there was still opportunity. I'm not trying to show myself or anything, but
Yeah,
literally
called. No chill. This is anti-show zone today. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing.
literally called the move.
Son of a bitch. Technical shit. No, it's just this damn app. All right, guys, let's try this again. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, nice, loud and clearly.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We're going to try it again. Guys, if you could share the space back out, let's see if we can get back up to our numbers. We still got people live with us, so that's all good. But let's see if we can share this back out and see if we can get back up. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, we were restarting it. So help us out. Share the space, guys. Let's get everybody back in here. Pade's back in here already. Kendu's up here. Okay, some people are getting the gist of what's happening. Kendu, I think you had something to say before we kind of rugged out there.
Wait, hold on, Zach. Max was in the middle of saying something.
Okay, all right. Let's bring Max up. I couldn't hear anybody. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell happened. I was talking to myself there for a while, I guess, huh?
We were making fun of you.
When is Elon going to get these things right, man? I mean, it's just like, why does this happen?
You know what's funny? Wait, Zach, text Zach from Subway real quick because he said he was going to make another space also, and then you just randomly made one, so we're all over the place.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, it's one of them days. Text him, Pate, if you. I mean, he'll find us, right? He's going to see us on here.
I don't know if he will.
Where's he at? All right, we're getting everybody back in here.
It's pretty crazy right now, man. I mean, the whole market's crazy. Everything's crashing. Shit. I mean, we can't even hold the Breakfast Club here anymore, damn it.
I know, man. I know. So what were you saying, Max? If you want to start from the top, because I couldn't hear anything.
Look. Zach from Subway posted he made his face.
Tell him to get in here, Paid. Text him. I can't text him because now I'm using my phone that I text from, and I got it sitting by a microphone. Text him and tell him come in here.
So I was touching, like, Zach, because of the Breakfast Club and the show that you guys had on I believe it was Friday, where you guys called out Nero on Ethereum. It, it jogged. I opened up some charts. I opened up the one on Ethereum. I opened up the one on Sol. I charted them out and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, these things exploded.
Nero's up 30% right now, $153 million market cap. It's literally holding up better than anything else in my portfolio right now. It's crazy.
100%. Right, and that just brings me to my point, is that there's always opportunity in the market, right? So I actually had an exchange track me down through my X profile over the weekend, and they offered me some free USDT to jump on their exchange and start trading some leverage. I've never actually traded leverage before. This morning,
I did the little rebound this morning and caught 2 successful leverage trades. So, I mean, you can make money if things are going up or down. You know, if you don't know how to do down, play the long game and go up, right? Buy the dips. I mean, you guys, if the crypto industry is very volatile, 100%, but that volatility can give you amazing opportunity if you know how to use it. So if trading does interest you, please take a look into it, because you know, like you guys are talking about AI and everything else, you know, possibly taking over and killing jobs and all this sort of stuff, but we need to start branching out into these other areas and possibly using AI as a mix to be able to you know, home in a new opportunity. So it's just something to consider. You know, if you guys are sitting on the sidelines, like I know when I first got started, I opened TradingView and I looked at some authors that were posting charts, and then I just sat down and started drawing some lines and see where it turned out. And a couple of years later, some of these lines into the long term ended up pointing to exactly where price direction and supports were going and stuff. And so it just really opened my eyes, and I've done an extensive amount of research since then. But the wider market in general, Bitcoin really needs to get back above the 200 MA on the 4-hour chart. Right? There's no asset ever in history that has been a mature asset that has gone on a bull run without first having that 4-hour 200 MA. And I think that's around 60,000 US right now. And that is always moving. It's not static, it's dynamic, just like price action, right? So yeah, thanks guys, and keep up the great work, man. And I love everything you guys do, man. I mean, none of that would have been possible without you guys and the Breakfast Club. So thank you.
Yeah, we're getting reports too. Major trading platforms are down right now or have experienced outages too. So just to put that out there, reports indicate several major retail trading platforms are currently experiencing outages. Charles Schwab, which is what I use, TD Ameritrade, Vanguard, E-Trade, Fidelity. These disruptions come during significant market volatility. Robinhood, I think as Paid mentioned earlier, halted trading today as well. So we'll be kind of tracking that. We are getting a bounce on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's back up 53,000 plus. Keep in mind, right before market open, we were at 49,000 and some change. We're back up over 53K right now as we speak. Apple, which is obviously massive market cap, huge in the stock market, opened up at around 196. We're currently at over 208 right now. So we are experiencing a little bit of bounce here to start the day. We're going to be tracking this obviously all day long, but just to get a little insight there. Let's go to Kendu first, and then we'll get to Mar here. And guys, if you could help share the space, let's try to get as many people back in as we could before we rugged out there. Kendu and then Mar, go ahead.
Yeah, cheers, Zach. Good morning, everybody. So what a bloodbath, right? But I want you all to keep in mind that there is still a possibility that this could be orchestrated. Like, it could be a bear trap, really. So if you feel that conviction in your project, like a couple of weeks ago, because it seems like a solid project and you believe in it, like, don't lose faith just because of a dip. Like, everything is chaos right now, and if anybody is trying to tell you that they know what is going to happen, they're probably lying to you, because the current situation in the entire world in a macro perspective is just chaotic at the moment. Like, everything is chaotic. Mainstream medias are kind of like getting targeted for not sharing unbiased information and stuff like that, and it's just causing fear. In my opinion, you should try to see it on the bright side, and I am, even though I'm fully leveraged in some coins, I'm still happy. I see it as we kind of like this dilution that happened over the past couple of months, with people coming into projects not being super convicted, but just being there for a quick win trade. are the ones who leave first. So I mainly see it as the projects are getting a stronger core at this point. Like we are getting hardened, and our convictions are getting stronger. And it's an incentive for working even harder to make a project win. I mean, the first project that's out positive in this sort of situation is probably the one that's going to take the gold medal, right? So I just suggest you all keep the screw in the water and keep moving forward. There's nothing to be sad about, really. I mean, and remember, it's just money. So if you're healthy, if your family is doing good, and nobody is dying, don't panic. It doesn't help anything. Only thing that panic really makes you do is make irrational decisions. Try to stay rational about what you do, really. And yeah, I was speaking with Gary Cadone the other day as well, and he mentioned this market thing being possibly a bear trap as well. And we were speaking about technology and development and how these downturns actually affect development. And I think because we get a better entry price, there's a good opportunity for proper developers getting into projects and speeding up the developments and stuff. So I think there's a lot of interesting topics when we are in these turbulent phases.
Yeah, I'm looking at some things right now too. Some major whales buying Bitcoin right now. Shorts are getting, some shorts got wrecked there when we opened up at 49,000. So I'm just looking at some things in real time here. Mr. 100, which is a huge Bitcoin whale, just bought over 1,300 Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, DCAing into Bitcoin, and a lot of other big players buying up the dips here this morning. One thing to consider too, we've got the election coming up later this year, and regardless of how you feel about politics or whatever, they're going to want to prop this market up, and I think that's where we're going to get rate cuts at some point in September, if not sooner here. And I know it's just a Band-Aid. It's not a surgery that fixes the problem, but regardless, I think it'll prop up the markets, and hopefully the Feds haven't waited too long here again to cut rates. But we can get into that too. I want to get to Mar here. Mar, go ahead.
Yeah, Zach. One thing I do want to say, where we normally, and Zach from Subway Group, throw his opinion at this is, I posted a day or 2 days ago. This is the time where you keep your crypto. Where you keep your, I think somebody needs to.
Yeah, somebody's got a mute here. Who is that?
Yeah, I dropped them down. We don't got the time today. Go ahead.
Okay.
Where you keep this is the time that you keep your crypto on decentralized wallets, and it's not fair to say that sometimes because the best deals you could get are in exchanges right now. Like for instance, Ethereum went all the way down when it first got nuked. It went all the way down to 2,100. So yes, I do buy in exchanges. When I'm trading, I do take that chance. It's not a lot of money. My long-term hold, like my Bitcoins, my Ethereum, those are in wallets, safe. But I don't trade that much. I don't buy that much. And unless, the token of the coin is not listed. But if it is listed and I'm able to get into that exchange, I try to buy with limit buys to get the best deal, for my money. And then if I'm going to hold it long term, I'm going to move it out of the exchange. But I'm also that type of panicking person, that anxiety where if it's a swing trade, I'll move it to a wallet. And then when I decide that I want to trade, I'll move it back to the exchange. I don't like keeping things in the exchange, but because I had this question today. But yes, the best deals for buying, it's in exchanges, especially, with those limit buys. There's not an Indian hiding. There isn't an Indian hiding behind every tree. We're not going to have, you just go, oh my God, the exchange is going to go to business. I'm going to lose. If I keep $1,000 or $2,000, I would never keep my Bitcoin's there long term. But yeah, exchanges, we talk bad about them, but at the end, that is, in my opinion, that is where you get the best deals, and the best for trading, compared to the swaps.
100%, Mar. Yeah, and so this is just some more macro to add some context on everything, guys. Just in, the NASDAQ hits a record down 1,000 points on the day, something that's never been done before. Never been done. We've never been down 1,000 points ever, not even on an intraday on the NASDAQ. This is Fox News reporting this. The development comes as investors are fearful of a recession after a dismal jobs report last week. Of course, we've got all the fears of World War III and Israel and Iran, and obviously all the wars that are happening around the world too that are hurting the markets a little bit. But to Mar's point and to what we've been saying, guys, the way to create generational wealth are during the worst times. So if you have capital, put it to work during the worst times, and this is how the rich get richer, right? And this is why we always talk about having a cash position. Don't over leverage yourself. Keep a well-diversified portfolio. Obviously not financial advice. I'm just speaking from how I'm angling here. 40% cash is kind of how I've, been structuring myself. 30% crypto, 30% stocks. And some would say I've got way too much crypto. Some would say I got way too much stocks. That's just, it is what it is. But having that cash position, I think, is crucial because it allows you to be in that, 1 to 2% of people who are actually, instead of panicking, able to really find where the most value is, whether it's in stocks and crypto. Go ahead, Zach. You got something on that?
Yeah. No, I just saw this just in. Bitcoin's ETF surpasses 1.55 billion in trading volume for the first hour of trading today. That is insane. That's nuts. So ETFs are a good thing, for the market. I think everything is a good thing. But this market's crazy right now, and I do agree with Mar some of his points. Like trading wise, it is better to trade on the exchanges. You don't have to pay the gas fees. You just pay a certain percentage. But holding it long term, if you're not that trader, holding it, you got to get it. You got to go DeFi 100%. Because you could wake up one day and that exchange be down and you lost all your crypto. So for long term holds, like Paid doesn't sell anything. He'll take everything down to the grave with him. I would keep it, DeFi.
Dude, I'm a fucking Egyptian, baby. I'm in the pyramid. I got my own little, not only does the grave come with me, but all my wives do too. That's how it works in ancient Egypt. Thank you.
You're crazy.
We're also getting news that President Biden's senior economic advisor, Gene Sperling, is set to leave the White House today, for whatever that means. So again, President Biden's senior economic advisor, Gene Sperling, to leave the White House today to basically step down. Again, he's the senior economic advisor of the United States. So there's some news for you there. I'm not sure what that means just yet, but that's breaking news as of about 15 minutes ago. Let's go to Mike, MM, and then Carter.
Yeah, I think to your point, Zach, about the election coming up, a lot of money has been waiting for some type of infrastructure set from the U.S. here on crypto. And I think what's interesting, even in the last 6 weeks, you look at Trump making the trip to the convention. You look at now Harris posturing, seemingly wanting to have conversations about crypto. I think it's really interesting that the administrations, both that are vying for power here, are taking a more open look at crypto. The time is now for the U.S. to take a leadership position, and I think we're living through such a crazy time because I think this is possibly the fourth industrial revolution is going to be DeFi. I think it was thought to be AI, and the runway is simply too long right now. And I'm just sitting back watching this real time, and I can't believe what I'm watching. It really feels like the posturing is now coming towards the communities. And I think we're actually going to see just an influx of money where actually cryptocurrency becomes the hedge on the market finally. I think we might see that because I
think we're in for at least a year or two of a recession here, with all the signaling going on, with all the unrest here in the global conflicts. I think the light switch might turn off, is what we're seeing. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think, Zach? Do you think it's about time that the U.S. government puts some damn framework on this stuff to give us some confidence into putting our monies into these exchanges and to finally going DeFi? Do you think we're going to get that from an administration here finally?
I hope so. I mean, and you know, when Trump was in Nashville, he spoke to a lot of these points. I mean, it's one thing to say it, right? It's another thing to do it. I think rely on the leadership of some of the people who've been there and have been working on it, like Cynthia Lummis, you know, the Republican out of Wyoming. She's been at the forefront, and there's been Democrats, Gillibrand, who have met her. They together have structured basically what we want. A system moving forward for Bitcoin and crypto. I thought it was very interesting that Trump not only talked about Bitcoin when he was in Nashville, but talked about crypto. And really, that to me signals he's talking about DeFi and Ethereum and everything else. Smart contracts, NFTs, all of these real world use cases that could be implemented. So let's hope that what he talked about actually comes to fruition if he gets there. And even if the Democrats get in, I think, you know, Harris has already, like you mentioned, signaled that, you know, they're trying to rekindle relationships, that some of these relationships within crypto have been fractured over the last 3-4 years because of Biden's stance on crypto, because of the SEC stance and all of that, right? But yes, I think the time is coming. And I think one of the things people have always said about Bitcoin is it's a better version of gold. It's the new age hedge against inflation. And then obviously smart contracts, DeFi, which really starts with Ethereum and everything else, that brings way more to the table than just Bitcoin as a store of value. I look at Bitcoin as a store of value right now. I know it could be transactional depending on, you know, if you're in El Salvador versus in the United States right now. But I look at it as digital gold. I think that's going to be the first thing that they can do. If they end up, you know, putting Bitcoin in their strategic reserves, like was mentioned, I think that would be a huge step. But the real regulation, I think, is not with Bitcoin. It's with everything else. It's with Ethereum, DeFi, smart contracts. And then, you know, obviously, I think the use case of NFTs could be massive. And RWA. I mean, the real world asset narrative, which Larry Fink at BlackRock had basically started immediately after getting these ETFs pushed through. If there could be structured framework around that, I mean, yeah, it sets the stage for, I think, this, as you mentioned, this new era of, you know, whether it's AI, robotics, blockchain, all at once. Speaking to that point, you know, we go through these like evolutions, right, in time. We went through the agricultural era. We went through the industrial revolution. We went through the digital age or the information age, right? And now we're into this new age of robotics, AI, blockchain, all kind of converging at once. We're witnessing something. We're witnessing something that you maybe witness once a lifetime. I truly believe that because this is changing everything. It's changing the finance industry. It's changing everything as we know it. So it's exciting. It's crazy, and I'm just glad we're here for it, man. And we have time to see it play out. So I know it's long-winded, but yeah, I think slowly but surely the time has come. And again, with these ETFs in place, it sets the stage, but I think the real conversation now needs to be about DeFi. It needs to be about smart contracts. It needs to be about tokenizing everything, literally reimagining and redesigning everything for the blockchain because it's just better.
And Zach, real quick, Bitcoin just crossed back over 54,000.
Yeah, crazy.
So guys, again, my position was just hodl, you know, get back to hodling mentality. Because if you sold at 50 and now it's at 54, now you got to buy back in if you're trying to buy back in when you could have just kind of chilled for a little bit. And, you know, again, this is just my strategy. Zach from Subway strategy is different. Everyone's strategy is different. He's a trader. I'm more of a holder. I'll hold to the grave, like he says. I don't care. I have my profit-taking strategies. If I don't hit certain numbers, I don't care if it goes to zero. I have to hit certain numbers. I always adjust numbers, but I have to hit certain numbers, you know. For instance, in Bitcoin, let's say 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, right? If it never hits the 80,000, fuck it. That's whatever. We hit the 70. So that's just how I look at it. But we are back, it looks like right now, back above 54, kind of stagnant around there.
If there's one thing I've come to know about being in crypto since, late 2020 is expect the unexpected. We all expect, oh my God, the stock market's going to open and we're going to tank further. What do? Oh, we just reverse $5,000. We go from 49 to 54. It's a point that I think is really necessary. Nobody has a crystal ball, guys. None of us here. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. And so always have your own strategic plan. Listen to a lot of people and take little bits and pieces from everybody to kind of form your overall plan. I think that's really important. So Carter, go ahead, man. Then we'll get to free Trump.
Yeah. Hey, what's good, everybody? Just tuning in on this Red Monday. I'm DCAing pretty much across the board. Super excited. Warren Buffett always says buy when there's blood in the streets. And I think that's the, it's perfect timing is now, it's, today's price isn't yesterday's price, as you can very well tell. And, I just think, you hold, you'll be good. You sell in times like this, you're becoming someone else's, liquidity. So I just, I don't want anyone to fail here. Don't get shaken out by what's going on politically and in the world right now. But yeah, just hold them.
And here's the thing, to Carter's point, the people selling today are the people who didn't sell when they should have sold. The people who sell today should have sold months ago at the tops, but they didn't, and now they panic. If you do it the right way, you don't panic. You actually look at it in the reverse way. What can I buy today? Because you're sitting on a cash position. You've taken profits when you were supposed to, right? So keep that in mind, right? I mean, so it's always that reverse psychology. It's so weird how humans operate, though. Like when markets are tanking, we want to sell because we think it's going to zero. When markets are sending up, we want to buy because we think it's going to infinity. It's the opposite, right? When things get, to the point where it looks like it can never come down, it's probably a good indication you should take profits. When things look like they're never going to stop falling, it's probably a good time to start buying. It's the exact opposite. Free Trump, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So like part two to what I was saying on the last spaces this morning, whenever, I've heard you guys say, hey, nobody knows the future. Right, that's true. Nobody knows exactly how this is going to play out. But there are agendas out there like Agenda 2030. Okay, that's a legitimate United Nations World Economic Forum. These are legitimate white papers for their plan for us for the future. Now, it used to be all conspiracy theories and tinfoil hat issues. It's not anymore. This is all playing out exactly how they plan. And if anybody read Agenda 2030, the white papers on Agenda 2030, this is literally exactly how they have planned it. Chaos, right? Order out of chaos. That's their motto. So they're going to put the blood in the streets. They're going to go to war. Lockheed Martin is going up right now. And if that's not a tale of World War III, I don't know what is, or a tale of World War III, I don't know what is. So everything is going to happen. And if we look over at what's happening in China, or what's already happened in China, they have that social credit system already implemented where you can't talk bad about, your leaders. Otherwise, you can't buy bread for the week. So it seems dystopian, but China's still doing pretty good. Just because people are oppressed and everything else, and there was somebody that spoke about 10 minutes ago or so. He sounded like he was a little more in the know than he wanted to let out. But I give him props for the good intel. So nobody knows the future. But if you read Agenda 2030, it's online. You can go to the World Economic Forum website. And that does give you a little strategy of how to make a little money and cash in on these people. I'll just give you a couple examples, right? People say, Beyond Meat, for example, that's never going to be a thing. You know, fake meat is not a thing. They tried it at Target. It failed miserably. Well, yeah, it did. But guess what? By 2030, who has the biggest fake meat contract ever in the history of the world? The United States military. So right now, if Beyond Meat is tanked and it looks like a train wreck and it's $5 a stock, by 2030, I know it's going to be the biggest fake meat contractor ever to grace the United States military. All right. And by then, the numbers of the military will be up, especially if we're in World War III. So at $5 a share, and the historic high has been like $200 a share, I know if I put $1,000 into that today, I'm going to do pretty good by 2030. And that's only 6 years out. Okay. And the other thing is, I'm not going to talk about crypto, but the timelines, guys. Like I said before, I'm ancient compared to most people in this space. But the timeline, these people aren't on the same timeline as us, okay? So, like, they don't need money. They don't need land. They don't need power. They're already in the most powerful positions ever on Earth. They already have all the money. They're billionaires and trillionaires. They don't need another dollar. They don't need another $1 million or $1 billion. They don't need any more land. Bill Gates is in my state now. He's buying up land all over North Dakota. So they don't need land, they don't need money, and they don't need power. What they need is for us to be compliant and docile and obey their every command, all right? The way they're going to do that, it's all in Agenda 2030. It's all in the social credit system. 10 years ago, this used to be a conspiracy theory. Now they're right out in the open with it. I mean, right out in the open. But how do we cash in on it? Read it. And I mean, if I was to say, last year I aped into Beyond Meat at $5 a share because I found out that they're going to be the biggest U.S. military contractor for meat ever in the history of the earth. To me, that's a bargain. But you know what? Last year, that's a 7-year wait for me before I know that thing's going to mature. Who has 7 years? If you're 21 years old, do you want to wait for 7 years before you make your $1 million? No, you want it today. So the time frame is different. We're all, like I said before, we're all after the same thing. We're all trying to 1000x our cheddar, but we're on different time frames. I have 10 years to do it. A 20-year-old has 50 years to do it. But the 20-year-old can't think past 24 hours, whereas the 50-year-old can think 20 years. All right, I'm mute.
No, that's good stuff, man. I appreciate that. So, guys, a couple things here. To Free Trump's point, talking about Trump in Nashville, the one thing he said, this is going to be a narrative to watch, too, is the CBDC. One thing he mentioned in his talk that under his presidency, if he got back in, there would be no CBDC. To your point there with everything you said. So that's going to be something to watch with that narrative playing out. Bitcoin at 54,100. We've bounced off of 49,700 at market open, guys. And we're back up over 54,000. Keep in mind, I always like to bring this back to context. In early July, literally on this date a month ago, July 5th, Bitcoin was trading under $54,000. It was at 53,000 and some change. We're at $54,000 right now. So it's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. I think that's a good approach, especially when it comes to investing. Trying to stay even keel as much as possible, put things into context. More data equals more sound decisions. Think macro, think big. And I think that kind of speaks to Free Trump's points too. Paid, go ahead, man. What do you got?
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, this is kind of a little hot take, but, blood in the streets, there's no more blood in crypto than these micro and low cap meme coins. And I know this is going to be like the riskiest shit that everyone's going to say, but some of these plays that we called on this show are down a lot, and I can still see them rebounding like crazy. Like what was the one, MAGA, or no, I always say this, Trump First Blood? That only did a 3x from where we called it, and then the whole market collapsed. I'm putting $50, $100 into that shit right now.
But Paid, here's the thing, real quick on that point. Real quick on this point, though. If you got in when you heard about it on this show and you didn't get your basis plus 20% out, have you been listening? Like, That's really what it comes down to. Yeah, you can't predict these type of collapses, okay? But what you can do is control what you can control in the moment. When you 3x your money on some brand new meme coin, guys, win the fucking trade. Win the damn trade. Go ahead, Paid.
But yeah, just to add to that, like I still like for me personally, I don't think that's over. So why not throw another $50 in it? It's at like what 100,000 right now. Say it gets back to where it was. Say it goes higher now because it actually has a runway. It didn't really have, in my opinion, that coin didn't have a runway. It started going off and then the whole market collapsed, right? And there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of meme coins that will perform very well that just got caught up in this moment, which the whole world is caught up in now, right? So I'm just saying, if it's at 100,000, say this market reverses this week, maybe next week, maybe the week after, $50 right now might turn into 500. Hell, it might turn into 5,000. It's not that like it is 100% possible. It's also possible you lose all your fucking money. So that's the flip side. But if you're gonna be, you gotta weigh your risk tolerance. Right now, I think that play right there, not financial advice.
I think we lost Paid. Paid, if you can hear us, we lost you, man. At least I did. All right, let's go.
He's over in Morocco.
Yeah, yeah. It's always a struggle. Let's go down. Let's go back down to Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick comment. I think the last couple of speakers, I think the nuts and bolts of this is all trending to hold your crypto, right? And I think what he had mentioned about the 2030 project is very interesting. But what you're seeing stateside right now is I think for all of us kind of a moment where we're inspired by some of the decisions we've been making over the last couple years, regardless of if it's a meme coin that's down, regardless if you have your fundamentals right in crypto, now is a great time with all of the unrest that's coming upon us. And I just wanted to make a quick mention about how crazy this semiconductor situation is. If China does invade Taiwan here in the next year, we could be looking at a global recession that's 2 to 3 years minimal. And so during that recession, what happens, right? We have adversaries who are going to try and make land grabs, and it's going to change the global economy as we know it. And I think that the smartest play at that point, with a changing global economy, with GDPs that are lowering across the board, unrest, you are going to find a lot of foothold in DeFi. And I think that is the moment. I think what DeFi and what cryptocurrency has been waiting for is a period of long unrest. And I think with the global situation, all of the posturing, I think we're about to enter that. And it's an exciting time. I think for crypto holders, I think you just have to make sure that, like Zach said, that's on you if you didn't get your money out, right? So smart trades and holding your assets right now during these times is going to pay dividends.
100%. And making sure, because there are a lot of people interested in altcoins for sure, but we've talked about this ad nauseum, guys. What I've always done, or tried to do, and especially these last couple of years, create a backbone in my portfolio. What do I not think is going away? Okay, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else is a trade at this point. Everything else is big speculation, right? There will be some big winners, whether it's Chainlink or Cardano or Avalanche or Solana or all of them, right? But at the end of the day, you have to have that backbone of your portfolio and have a plan. When you hit on these small caps, what are you doing with those profits? It's one thing to take profits, but what are you going to do with them? Are you putting it back into stocks? Are you putting it back into crypto? Are you putting it into real estate? Are you starting a business? What are you doing, right? So go beyond just taking profits. What's your long-term plan here? Where are you putting that money once you take the profits? I think that's a really crucial component, because it's easy to take the profits, but then what do you do with it?
Yeah.
Getting a call here. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I was getting a call. Let's go up to, let's see here. Papa Chulo, go ahead. And don't shill the coin, dude. We're just talking macro here. So what do you got? What can you add?
What's up, guys? Yeah, no, I'm not here to shill anything. Just talking about the crypto. Like, again, what I think, I've been in crypto since 2017, so I've seen a lot of cycles, right? I have seen crypto, Bitcoin from 1800 going to 3K, going up to 10K, going back to 5K, then again to 20K, and now we hit the all-time highs, around 60, 70K, and a little setback. You see a lot of people escape directly. They think, oh, my whole portfolio's on red. That's the moment when you buy, guys. It's like, this is if you're for the long term in crypto, you understand that most gains come holding, of course, the top tier coins after many years. Like, you can see the difference if people in 2010 invested in Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is now. So again, seeing a few days red is not anything new for me and for a lot of people in the space. This is the moment to take action. Crypto has still so much potential. A lot of people are getting in. It's still very small percentages, and wait until it goes worldwide. Like the internet, everybody was saying the same. Well, crypto is here to stay, guys. It's for me, I'm super bullish on crypto for many years, and this is never gonna stop. Again, there's many coins that will not arrive, but it will. This will go high. I can tell you that.
Love it, man. Appreciate you bouncing in. JW, go ahead.
So I had a real quick question. So, I listened to you speak a lot about having, cash on the sidelines and so on. And right now I don't. Basically, with my finances, I wait for certain times. I wait for pension benefits to come in, and that's usually when I invest. I try to invest every time, a pay period comes around. But what my question is if you're into certain projects, I don't want to name projects, but would it be beneficial in a situation like this to maybe close out one, say you had a $2,000 investment, you're down 50%, close that down so you could reinvest it into another project that's really down that you might believe is a better project? Would it be better to take those losses and reinvest what's left into something else to get those gains now, or do you think it's just best to leave things alone?
It's not a one size fits all. I've got quite a few things I could say to this. What you don't want to do, JW, is start over trading, though, right? You start over trading, and that's a recipe for disaster. So you just be very strategic about it. If you're going to take that 50% loss in that example, like a $1,000 loss, you've got to be really confident that what you're doing is going to benefit you then, beyond once we start to come back here, right? So, but what you don't want to do is start over trading. I don't know what that coin is. I don't know if it's something that's a blue chip. Is it something that's a meme coin that's been out for a month? Obviously, that plays into the decision too. You know what I mean? Zach, what do you have on that? Do you have something to add there? I've got thoughts, but I can't put them together, I guess, in my head right now. Zach, are you there? Or if anybody else wants to jump in on that. I think some of that's okay, JW. Just don't get in the habit of doing that all the time and over trading, because you end up getting nowhere, right? And I think the other thing is too, you could be over diversified too. You want to build up strong positions in assets that you really believe in. That's the other thing too. It's very easy to become over diversified, and where you just have a little bit of everything. You've got to be to a point where, okay, I'm gonna say, hey, 60 to 70% I'm allocating toward Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what I do in crypto. So of my 30% of my network in crypto, 60 to 70% of it's Bitcoin, Ethereum.
I think the question there is, what was the methodology on the project purchase, right? The methodology, if it was a 3-year runway, a 5-year, or a 10-year runway, I think it's method, right? If you're not happy with where it's at right now, and you do close the position, I think then the methodology would be to buy into something that is different. You would not exchange that money for another project that you wanted a 1-year, 3-year runway on. I wouldn't, take it out of a meme coin and then put it into Bitcoin. I think you have to kind of separate your portfolio so that there's an understanding of, okay, well, if I have 30% of my money into this and it's getting hit right now, you're either going to withstand the hit
or you're going to take it out and go back into something else. I agree with you, Zach. You can overtrade here and be very, very exposed. And that's not where you want to be with something like crypto, right? It's more of a long play, in my opinion, and that's kind of how it should be. Your portfolio should reflect that, regardless of these quick dumps, right? The casino money for the meme coins is the casino money, right? And if it's taking a hit, it's expected, right? It's expected. But if it's a blue chip, if you're into Bitcoin, Ethereum, then you ride that wave on your method, depending on what your payout was or how long you plan to hold that asset. So.
I see. Yeah. Well, it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, but I'm into a lot of the bigger, the top 50, and but I do have some other ones that are, in the top 200, top 300, and I didn't know if maybe just cutting those losses there and putting them into some of the ones I have that are, say, in the top 50 while they're down, and maybe regaining those losses when the markets go back up. That was just my thought on it. But I don't know if that's a good strategy or if it'd be best just to leave things ride, and just pass on this dip and then just wait till the next time I can dollar cost average in. That's all I had.
Yeah, I think it depends on your risk tolerance, homie. Like that's going to be the real answer at the day. Does $1,000 loss, which is 50% or whatever that token is, affect you mentally? Can you not sleep because of that $1,000? If that's the case, maybe you do want to cut it. But again, I'll tell everybody in this room, and I'll say it again, you got to be a little dead inside, guys. This is crypto. $1,000, fuck it. That's what. Because at some point, depending on what token it is, that could turn around and you'll have 10,000, and you sacrifice, that ability to make that by getting rid of that 1,000. Happens all the time. Happens to me. Anyone on this stage who's experienced can say the same shit. There's been projects even in the last week I took profits on, maybe a little too much. I mean, you can really never take too much profits on, but the coin I took the profits from just kept running and running and running, and the other one didn't. And it's like, oh, well, you know what? That's what happens. So, I mean, it's all about your risk tolerance, homie. Like, no one's going to be able to, tell you exactly what you want to do, because we don't know your situation, Again, some people are in crypto because they need to make rent next month, and they're gambling their rent money to make it next month. So they want to get their money out almost as fast as they got it in. And that's some people. And other people like me, I don't care for the next 20 years. I'll be fine for the next 20 years. As long as I keep working and doing the stuff I'm already doing, this is a long-term investment for me. If stuff goes south, if everything goes to zero tomorrow, whatever. I'm down for it. I told you guys way earlier when we first started the show, I was like, listen, everything that I put in, I'm already looking at it as it's already gone. It's already at zero. Until I hit my profit-taking points, everything's at zero for me. Because, I mean, what? I want to look at the chart every day and just be depressed, when it's down? No, what the fuck? No, it's already at zero in my mind. Once I hit, I don't fucking know, $1 at Cardano, $2 at Cardano, $3 at Cardano. I'm not even touching Cardano. I'm probably going to DCA more now. Solana, the same thing. Until Solana hits, well over 200 again, I'm not touching Solana. I'll add to it. But that's just me, and that's why you got to sit down and be honest with yourself what your risk tolerance is. And no one in this room can tell you what that is. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm just being brutally honest. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you. No one on this panel can tell you what to do. Again, some people do this for rent money for next week. Some people do it because they want to take a girl out on a fancy date tomorrow. Some people want to do it because they want a tea house in Japan. It's all different.
Generally speaking, too, JW, just generally speaking here, if I'm taking a 50% loss on an asset, and let's say it's something that when I got into it, I had conviction in it, okay, and I believed in where the project was going and all of that sort of stuff checked the box. If I'm taking a 50% loss, ideally it's not because the market went down. It's because something fundamentally changed my opinion on that asset. Does that make sense? So you shouldn't be selling because the market went down. That would be doing it the wrong way. If you still have conviction in that thing that's 50% down, because we know altcoins down 50%, it's kind of like another Tuesday. Okay? It's another Tuesday. Now, if something has fundamentally changed, though, in your opinion on that asset, That's different. What you shouldn't be doing is, oh my God, the market got bloody. Should I just go sell this thing and buy this thing? That's not the right approach, generally speaking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But and there is no fundamental issue with any of the assets I have. I honestly, I love them all. I mean, as far as what I think they're good projects, to me, I think they're all fantastic projects. And I wouldn't want to sell any of them. I was just trying to look as a strategic point as to maybe getting some gains back, in one of the other ones quicker, because until the available capital comes in to reinvest, you might miss the dip.
I mean, the faster money comes in, the faster it leaves. I mean,
but hold on, Paid. If you have conviction in that thing, JW, still, when the market comes back, that will come back too. Everything will come back. If you have conviction in that, and it's a relatively large cap and it's solidified, it will come back with the rest of the market. So there's no reason to go chase another horse, take that loss, if nothing has fundamentally changed with why you got into that asset in the first place. That's the way I would look at it. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you, just from my standpoint, the only thing that I did this morning in terms of profit taking were things that I was still up on that were more short-term plays, right? Like that's just what I call de-risking. Even if you take a little loss, I think I took a little loss on a couple things, like 5 to 10% down or whatever, some like lower cap meme coins, and just de-risked and put it into stablecoin. And I think Zach was speaking at that at the top of the show. Same thing. But I'm not going to sell my Caspa, for example. Now, granted, I started buying Caspa at 4 cents, but I'm not going to sell Caspa because it went from 20 to 14 cents, right? So it is on an individual basis where you are. Cardano, for example, I'm not going to go sell Cardano at these levels. I'm about where I got in, but it would be an asset because I haven't lost a lot. It's about where my basis is. If I wanted to go sell that right now, that's not a terrible decision because I'm not really taking a loss. If I had conviction, way more high conviction in something else, in the same vein, something changed with my Cardano position, but it hasn't. I'm not touching it because I think Cardano will do well when the overall market comes back, when altcoins come back. In Cardano's case, it was a late bloomer. It kind of moved on its own last cycle. When everything else stopped running, Cardano started running, which, whatever, right? But I'm talking in circles a little bit, but hopefully this is helping.
And also, listen, I'll tell you one thing. You know what hurts more than a 50% loss? You getting out when that 50% happens and then that asset doing a 5 to 10x. Trust me, it hurts way more. You'll be way sadder. I'm telling you, the suicide hotline will be everyone's friend when that happens. It hurts.
You don't lose. You don't lose if you don't sell. It's not a loss until you sell, right? So ideally, the way to go about this.
You shouldn't seek to generate cash. You shouldn't seek to generate cash. If you don't have horses in the
100%.
stable on the sideline waiting to DCA right now, you shouldn't be seeking to generate cash because you have an intense emotional feel to quote unquote buy the dip, right? And that's what we're all dealing with right now. So if you have an underperforming asset, the idea shouldn't be to try and generate cash and get horses in the stable to go and recoup that. You should just wait until you get cash back into the stall and then DCA on some projects that, are valued or at a better price. But to seek to generate cash and put horses in the stall during a dip like this, again, not financial advice, but I just don't think it's like Zach said, you could trade yourself into a whirlwind here. I think, you want to be a little risk adverse here and you want to wait until you get some cash and then go DCA. That's what I would do.
And Bitcoin just hit 54,500, by the way, guys, as we're talking. 54,500. Some people sold at 49, thinking it was over. 54,500, and this could keep going. It could also reverse and go back down, as always. I mean, the market goes up, the market goes down. But we already got a pretty good bounce. This bounce could keep bouncing,
Yeah, let's get over to Gerda here. Gerda, no shilling of the coins, but what's your take on the macro here?
Yes, of course. So a few things. In relevance, I think it was just said not the, like buying the dip relevance, right? So I definitely agree that if you are just kind of fear buying, right? Just like, oh my god, I have to get as much as possible because what if I lose more? So I do believe that that's not the right thing. This is again not financial advice. I would only buy the different projects which I just always wanted to get more of, and now hey, it's an opportunity for me. Like, oh my god, I can get more of something that I really wanted to get more of before. Also talking about in general, like I'm not a bear. I am someone that I don't like emotional trading. I look at the future and not at exactly what's happening right now. I prefer not to look at my wallets and just panic over everything because I know that's not going to get me far in the long run. I'm just going to probably lose because everybody else is panicking. And I don't like doing that. So I agree definitely with a lot of things that you guys are saying, and thanks for having me on.
Appreciate that. Go ahead, Max.
Just before the biggest pumps come the biggest dumps. And it happens every time, you guys. So this is an opportunity. I mean, not financial advice, but look at what's going on, right? I mean, I also look at, somebody mentioned chips. NVIDIA is one of the main chip makers in the world right now, right? So that's a very interesting topic to me, and regarding the whole Taiwan thing. Right now, I look at NVIDIA. It double topped. It rejected at 118, and it went down all the way to $89. Right now, it's just below the 4-hour 200 MA, but it's had a really nice bounce. So what the bulls want to do for NVIDIA is to push back above that 4-hour 200 MA. And I think that would probably be a lot of relief for the whole market, given how everything is right now in the world. I'll leave it at that. And I'm watching NVIDIA sharply to, potentially have a little bit of insight on what's around.
Two things here, and then I want to get to Mar. Two things. By the way, guys, appreciate everybody rocking with us. We usually go to 11:30. We might go a little bit longer today. I think the conversation's really flowing, and I'm game to go a little bit over if we want. Couple things here, and then I want to get to Mar, and then Mike's got his hand up now too. So, Arcam Intelligence, one of the best data analytical platforms out there, watches things on chain, and I think this really speaks volumes, guys. Just 10 minutes ago, Bitcoin Magazine tweeted this out. Despite the crash, this is 10 minutes ago, BlackRock and Fidelity are not selling their Bitcoin. So why should we? If BlackRock and Fidelity are not selling their Bitcoin, what does that tell you? What does that tell you about where we are right now? What does that tell you? Right? And then Robert Kiyosaki, the guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, tweeted this earlier. My apologies, having a drink, continuing on, ... Crashes are times when the brave get richer and the cowards get poorer because they sell or do nothing. The world is filled with poor cowards. Be smart, grow some balls, stay calm, and invest when the cowards are quitting. So, just a couple things there. Mar, what's up?
Yeah, Zach. Anyone that wants to get into the smart contracts on Kaspa, man, Kaspa was a great buy. I mean, it still is, but it recently just hit all-time high, 20 cents, almost 21 cents. And this morning it was at 12 cents, almost just below 13 cents. So that was a great buy just to hold it there and use it, for buying smart contracts, which are, I believe, anytime soon they're gonna be released. So I was one time it was like 25% down Kaspa, but yeah, Zach, it's good. Keep the show going. Ever since we started the show, the space has been pumping. So let's keep it going. And not financial advice, my opinion. For me, the best buy right now in the top, around the top 10, a little bit lower, is IVAX. I want to put IVAX there. I also want to put Link, but But I truly believe that like the best buy, it's Dogecoin on the top 10. I think that it has the most upside. You could easily probably 10 to 15x if you go in with heavy money. Again, not financial advice, but I've been buying Doge every time it goes under 10 cents. And I bought Doge at 4 or 5 cents doing the FTX. So yeah, I think Doge is the risk is not it's not that high, compared to all these low market cap coins, of course. But yeah, Doge for me, and of course Shiba too. All the top coins, but Doge for me has the most bang for your money when it comes to the bull market, especially the news that we want to hear one day when Elon pumps it for us. Anything that has to do probably a currency on X or anything, close to that.
Yeah, and Elon's been working on those money transmitter licenses. I mean, he's up to almost like 40 states now? Keep your eyes peeled on that. He wants to build the everything app. It's going to have to do with crypto and finance. So 100%. I think big things are coming to the X platform with crypto in the future. And Dogecoin, I think, will be a big part of it. Mike, and then Ode LA, and then we'll get down to beer skis. Beer skis, nice.
Yeah, just wanted to speak on the NVIDIA discussion here. I mean, speculation craves application, and our entire market has been propped up over the last year and a half off of NVIDIA and AI speculation, and it's searching for application right now. And what's very fearsome for me is when you have these companies like Intel and basically all of big tech, taking market cap drops 20-30% overnight. I don't think people quite understand that the NVIDIA AI solution is still a nuts and bolts industrial revolution as well. They need people and the capital. These companies need people and the capital to be able to build out data centers that have these NVIDIA chips. And right now, it's such a capital-intensive market that when you get into a situation like this where a market sell-off happens, that capital squeezes, and those budgets for these capital data center projects squeeze. And it creates a much longer runway for application. So when speculation doesn't turn into application and the runway elongates because the capital is being squeezed out of the market, what happens is you have a market that's been anticipating an NVIDIA takeover as far as taking these 70, 80 pound graphic chips and enhancing them to every single data center so that those data centers become artificially intelligent. Well, all this does now is it exacerbates that runway. Do we have the construction workers? Do you have the capital budgets now to build out the AI infrastructure at these data centers? As that runway blows out, I think you're going to see a big time market pullback, which we're already seeing now, but I think it's elongated. So that makes, I think, my bullish crypto stance is that money is going to have to go somewhere. And that money, I think, is going to start to enter crypto spaces because I think we might finally see some hedging here as far as these markets go. I'm so happy looking at Bitcoin right now. I mean, is it a true hedge, right? But yeah, as to NVIDIA, man, I think the bubble, the fear that it's a bubble, the fear that what AI applications, what are you actually bringing us besides a shiny ChatGPT-4 that we all thought was cool for 2 months and nobody really uses anymore? I think we're still trying to figure out where and how that's going to be applied. And the longer it takes, I think some of that money market's going to seep into crypto.
That's so funny that you say that because I'm literally using ChatGPT right now.
Yeah, but what's the scalability and application for businesses for ChatGPT? I mean, it's like they already know, the founder already came out and said that it's like the most cumbersome tool that they've ever created and that 5 will be much more better. But as far as revolutionizing the way people work and taking 30% of the workforce, like, is it better than Google as a pull-up bar on your search bar? Yeah, it's cool. But are we really taking away 30% of the industrial workforce because of ChatGPT-4? I doubt it.
I don't see it that way. I use it more as a tool for the stuff that I do.
it just enhances something I'm already doing. Kind of like, a frying pan when you're cooking versus just, I don't know, a piece of metal and then fire under it.
But I think to Mike's point, right, it's like the entire stock market has been propped up by the Magnificent Seven. And really, if you want to boil it down, it's been NVIDIA that has literally propped up the entire market. And what real substance is there in that whole sector just yet? I think it's coming, but I think it's premature. And I think what Mike's saying in the meantime is crypto can possibly become that hedge while we kind of wait for the real applications that are going to be kind of changing the way we work, changing the entire, landscape of the job market and things like that, for sure. But I'm under the impression that it's not just AI and robotics; it's blockchain. I think it's all of that. I think AI, robotics, blockchain is all part of this next big revolution, and I think blockchain could be maybe taking a lead first and being really kind of the first big thing to land. So, OLA, what do you got? And then we'll go to Bierskis.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the mic. I appreciate you guys for hosting this space, to educate everyone for the great understanding. What I got is that I really want everyone to stay calm and stop panicking because they are going to make the Bitcoin itself a very scarceable asset for everyone to be able to get. That is why they just have to bring it down, so people can be scared and panic to sell. And once they do that, they skyrocket it back to where you won't be able to get it just the way you were getting it. Bitcoin is going to moon. You should hold your bags if you still have some bags in there. And if you have gotten into the Ton ecosystem, you should be able to try to get more bags in the Ton ecosystem because they're really building a lot on Telegram, and you can get some meme as well because the meme is going to change a lot. Broke and all that, and while you are doing all that, we need to as well do our research in everything we are doing, because it's not a financial advice. Thanks for giving me the mic. It's Papachulo all the way. Let's fucking go. Thanks.
Appreciate that, brother. Thanks for popping up here. Bierskis, what do you got?
Hey, Zach. Thanks for having me up here, man. It means a lot when people are trying to rally up together right now during these times. And I just want to just throw in there my contribution to everyone and just give the faith. I know everyone here already knows the game. We all know what's happening. We all know what needs to be done. And our job right now is just to encourage people out there to just keep driving and keep pushing and stay mentally strong. Because that's just half the game in this world. It's just a mental battle. And I just want to just throw in there and just say, hey, keep pushing. And I appreciate spaces like this because when it going gets tough, the tough gets going. And it's sad to see sometimes people just give up over a chart, over people just saying it's over. And it's and we need more people like this. We need more gatherings like this in general because sometimes when we have spaces, telegrams, VCs, we always talk about how strong we are as an individual. But we forget sometimes that crypto united us all worldwide more so than the world itself. It's crazy to think about because, think about all the spaces events we go, all these Telegram spaces we go, we have a language barrier sometimes with each other. And it's amazing because we don't get that anywhere else other than crypto. So I just wanted to throw that out there and throw the encouragement. I give props to right now to throw in the Ton ecosystem because that's an obvious thing I think everyone should check out just because that's Telegram's chain. And that's one of the most active crypto spaces to check, and they're pushing something amazing over there. So I do encourage everyone to see the Ton blockchain and the Ton affiliates there. I'm not trying to encourage people to check the memes or anything right now just because, we're at a point we need to build and stay serious. But do take a peek at it, it's fun to see. And but other than that, let's keep moving forward, guys, and stay strong together mentally.
Yeah, I think this is 100%, man. Thanks for coming up. I couldn't agree more. We were just saying this last week, and I firmly believe this. I think we're getting ready now to enter the golden age of crypto, the golden age of Bitcoin, and really we're going to see adoption take place. And you know what usually happens before then? Fear. uncertainty. People get scared. They get shaken out, right? We're right at that point right now with ETFs now out there with all of this, news that's heating up with pension funds and governments following in El Salvador's lead and making it, a legal tender in various countries, especially when you look in, these developing countries. We are so freaking early. I mean, we're still at 6% adoption, guys. We have to kind of remove ourselves sometimes because we're in crypto every single day. Most of us have been here now 3-4 plus years, if not longer. We kind of get clouded. Our judgment gets clouded because we're in it. But you know how many people are not in it yet? How many people have no idea what's going on? I mean, again, 94% of people are not here. And when we look at just the evolution of how long it took the internet to be adopted, keep in mind, blockchain's being adopted at a faster rate, but that's how early we are. We are at the beginning of this bell curve right now, and literally, I think we're getting ready to enter the golden years of crypto. You just have to have that mindset. And if you have that conviction, you're in a totally different place, versus just coming in and trying to make a quick buck or just not being in it long enough to realize where this thing's really going. So we're happy that we can put these spaces on and just, have a place for people to kind of voice their opinions, give their thoughts, but also just be a place for hopefully new people to stumble across and say, hey, what's this Bitcoin thing? What's this crypto thing? And I just want to say shout out to everybody for making it possible. We'll keep it going for a little bit. We've got over 1,800 people live with us right now, and then everybody else who's in the space, the actual space here. So shout out to everybody listening. If you're on X, retweet, post that out there, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, ring notifications, put them all on so you guys don't miss out on this stuff. We're here every single day. Zach, what are your thoughts, man? Haven't heard from you in a little while. What's going on?
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually trading in the background. That's why I'm not talking too much.
I figured.
Yeah.
Dumping on everyone.
Yeah. Right. No, but I know I'm kind of the singled out here for moving to a stable coin, but I know even starting tomorrow, I'm going to be up dramatically when it starts to move up. So that play I made Friday for me was the best move. And it wasn't a lot of Bitcoin. It was a decent amount, but I still got a huge backbone. So this was just getting myself into a better position. That's all it is, and I see the future 3, 5, 10 years down the road. And for me, 3 or 4 days of doing a little bit of trading to get in a better position is going to be financially gratifying later in life. But I can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. So when I say move to stablecoin or, as I'm trolling on the internet all night last night for fun, I'm very calm as I'm doing it. Like I stay very level-headed, so that's me really. And I'm just trading. That's why I'm not talking too much.
Bitcoin's back at 54.7 right now, guys.
Yeah, looking at it on the 10-minute. I've got it up on the live stream right now. JB, mute your mic. Looking at the 10-minute chart right now. So XT Algo, my trading indicator, flashed basically a buy alert, momentum up at $53,082. That's a 3.25% move in the last hour and a half. So nice little bounce there on the 10-minute. And we're looking on the up and up really the last 2.5 hours. Ever since we bottomed out at 49,700, making a nice little push here. So it's good to see.
It's good. The true test will be when the market closes, though. That's what I'm really waiting for. And
I think first step is a close over 53, right?
Yeah, definitely. But no matter the outcome, I'm buying a lot of Bitcoin tomorrow. Even if it goes down, I'm already going to be ahead for selling Friday. So I'm happy with that play. But yeah, I'm just watching the markets really. When it closes, I'll have a better indicator of how much to buy tomorrow. So I'm just kind of watching that. Yep.
Love it.
Crazy trade stuff. Yep.
JB, what do you got, man? JB, you can unmute and speak if you want.
Engagement farming.
Simon says you can now unmute.
Right. JB, you there? Going once, going twice, going 3 times.
I already kicked him out. All right,
next. Okay. All right, Crypto Hoff is coming up here. He's got something for us. Crypto Hoff, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Everybody hear me okay?
Loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, we got you. Perfect. Okay. So I don't know, I missed the first, like 15, 20 minutes this morning, but I did see a meeting with the Fed. Again, I apologize if I missed a segment on this, but they're talking possibly an emergency meeting today, and the Fed may be dropping rates by 75 basis points, and
So
then possibly another 75 in September.
So according to what I'm seeing, yeah, those rumors are swirling, but the Fed has said nothing about that. There's been no official source, no official comment made. It's all speculation right now. So right now, our next meeting is in mid-September. Experts are still giving it a really high chance that we see a rate cut, but right now it's mid-September until we see or hear otherwise.
Okay. What's everybody's take? Trying to, just vision out here. If the Fed were to come out today and announce the 75 basis points emergency cut, what do you guys think the markets would do as far as the reception of that?
Go ahead, Mike.
They're too late. I think it's quite clear the market is pricing that in. That it's already too late. The Fed, for the last 2.5, 3 years, they've been 4 or 5 months behind fiscally what they should have been doing. I think the rate cuts almost exacerbate this situation right now. Really, I'm going to put into the chat a gentleman that I've been following, carrying and watching the Japan carry trade. I think it's more macro and it's more global what's happening right now. I think it's a mixture of the AI runway being too long. I think this Japan carry trade is really, really hurting overall global capital right now. And I think the unrest here in the Middle East, we're could be 24 to 48 hours away from a global conflict starting. I don't think that rate cuts are going to do anything right now. If you talk about the day-to-day consumer, they've been hampered for over 2 years now. The rate cuts aren't going to help. I think we are in a situation where the rate cuts are going to be probably 4 or 5 months past due, and I don't think it stops the bleeding here. I think this is more of a macro situation where we are going to get into a long-term recession, possibly 3 quarters. We just don't have the horses anymore as far as GDP goes and as far as innovation to lift us out of there. And then you get into the discussion of, are we going to start printing money again? And what's that going to cause? It's past the interest rate cuts at this point, in my opinion, and the markets are pricing that in. I really believe so, and I don't think we're even close to the bottom yet.
Go ahead, Mar.
Yeah, one thing to bring up also, Zach, they talk about jobs and unemployment, and the numbers, and, who could trust these numbers if they're real or not? I go by what's happening, and I'm the one in charge of hiring, at my job, and looking at all the applications with another individual, of course. But anyways, I could tell you that we've had more applications for jobs, people applying the last 2 to 3 months than the last year. And so, and it's tough. It's tough out there right now to find a job, even in this major city. It's not super hard, but it has become harder, and there's a reason why, and people are now. There was one time that we needed to beg people to work for us. We actually, as a company, we had to bring employees from Mexico, Costa Rica, and South Africa with a 3-year visa because no one wanted to work. And when they did, when we did interview them, they wanted like over $20 an hour, And now they're willing to take $12 an hour, I seen applications, what is your desired pay, and they put around $13, So I'm beginning to see that jobs are getting harder out there, just from all the applicants we've been getting the last 2 to 3 months. That's way more, I repeat myself, way more than in these 2-3 months than the last 2 years combined, So that's another thing, jobs, and also how expensive life is in these major cities. That's why I got so many friends. I said this once already that have left to, I got my last friend left to close to Nashville, Tennessee. And they just, compared to they're making more money and their bills are way less. They're actually able to save money, But yeah, that's my take on jobs, People are talking numbers, if it's true or not. I'm seeing it from experience,
No, 100%. You're right. I mean, a lot of the data that comes in, who knows, right? I mean, but perception is reality a lot of times with the markets. If the perception's good, if people, analyze that data, if whether it's true or not or how right it is, if sentiment is positive, the market will go up. If sentiment is negative, the market will go down. Bierskis, go ahead. And we're bringing up Crypto Wolf here too. Bierskis, you there? You could speak if you want. If you're ready.
Hey, yeah. I just wanted to throw in there about jobs and everything. And oh man, you got me tempted to check out Nashville because California is just kicking my ass here. That's all I want to say. Crazy here in California right now.
Yeah, man. I can only imagine.
Zach, just to go hit the numbers real quick. And this is a very close friend of mine. They left over there, and they're actually, both of them are working on, in Amazon, the warehouse. They're making $24 an hour. So basically, we're doing the math. And when, the rent down up there is like $900, $800 a month. So they're saving way more than 50% of their monthly, And over there, of course, you buy a car, whatever, but here is that you want the BMW, the Mercedes. It's just expensive in major cities, But over there, it's all about going to work, and I know a family that left to North Carolina. In 2 years, they bought a house. They bought a house in 2 years working over there. So, yeah, it's something that a lot of people are doing, living to these small cities because they want to grow. They pay more and the bills are less. It's just crazy how it works, man. But yeah.
I appreciate that, Mario. 100%, man. I'm being patient right now. I'd like to get my place in Florida, but I'm waiting, man. I'm being patient. Crypto Wolf, go ahead, and then we'll go to Mike.
Hey, Zach. I first want to tell you I appreciate really many times the video and the courage you have to always continue grinding, bro. You are an example for us.
Thanks for that, man.
So I know I see a lot of people, by the way, too, that are all the time grinding, like Papi Chulo. I saw you a lot of times, man. I think he's from the Netherlands. It's my Dutch brother. But we did not have the time to meet yet. Other ones, Landlords. I mean, it's amazing, man, to see your communities grinding. And I'm representing maybe the army of Baby Pepe, the OGOX69 Babe. We have the ticker. It's very bullish. And
yeah, no. No. Just no. We're talking about the macro world economic shit that's going on. We're not shilling today.
To be fair, he came in new and started with a compliment. That's better than most. But yeah, Pade's going to be the bad guy, Crypto Wolf. But we're just kind of keeping it to the macro. We could see your profile, though. I know about it, too. But what's your take on the macro? Do you have any take on just kind of the bigger picture here?
Well, I'm just accumulating today.
That one was by accident. I was trying to bring something
Come on, man.
No problem. This is crypto or not? It's crypto, guys. I'm used to get some smashes every day. I feel like Jerry Springer sometimes. But anyhow, I'm just accumulating more. What you should do on the macro today? It's a wonderful day. The sun is shining. and you can just grab some bags left or right that you did not take. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, going back to the well to high conviction plays, I think that's definitely important, and I think what a lot of people are doing today. Hey, somebody's buying this Bitcoin dip right now from 49.7 up to 54.5 right now. So I think it's the big players, if you want my opinion. I think it's institutions. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, just wanted to kind of give you guys, if we're going to talk macros, just my personal experience. I own a business here in Chicago. We sell a cold welding technology. We deal with industries, oil and gas, chemical, petrochemical, and naval. We're a government contractor here. Just to give you an idea of what we've seen over the last 6 months, we've seen 3 Fortune 100 companies move from net 60 payment terms to net 120 payment terms.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
And so being a business owner and being able to see the biggest oil and gas provider, the biggest nuclear energy provider move from net 60 to net 20 is a key indicator, I think, of what's happening with our economy. The second thing is, as a government contractor, you can look this up. This information isn't special. Currently, our shipbuilding, as far as our naval assets, our newest program, FFG, that's being built in Wisconsin, is currently 3 years behind schedule. I have inventory for that program that's been sitting for 3 years now, and they cannot find the workforce. They are short 400 blue-collar workers. So what this means is, the way I look at this is the economy here in America is desperately needing more blue-collar workers. We do not have the people entering those job spaces, and as the tech bubble, as tech starts to kind of cap out, we're talking Meta, Google, as these companies start to cap out in their life cycle and become very, very cash heavy, we've looked to NVIDIA and we've looked to OpenAI to kind of usher that in. But as far as the industrial complex here in America, it's been suffering for quite some time. It's been being propped up. And I think that if we don't see a headwind here and severe application here in AI, we just have to look to GDP. What are we going to be producing at scale that's going to kind of climb us out of this potential recession? And right now, there's no indicators that there's anything that's leading that. So, that just kind of gives you some insight as to what we're seeing here as a small business in Chicago. Whenever you get big conglomerates going from net 60 to net 120, it's a huge, huge red flag.
And Mike, to that point, does that kind of play into your thesis of this is the time for crypto? This is the time for the quote unquote reset?
Absolutely. To me, it feels like it's quite obvious once we enter this recession that there is no type of R&D industry leading company that's going to be able to pull us out. It's going to be a long runway. And during that runway, I feel like it bolsters the case for kind of the aha moment, right, for DeFi, where we've been searching for a hedge. We've been searching for institutional framework. And I think with the election, no matter who you pick, they're going to be pressured into providing that framework for the crypto community and for DeFi overall. And once that framework is established, there's a lot of safe money that's been on the sidelines too, kind of waiting for that framework to be established here in the States and globally. Once that framework is established, it's going to be lights on, right? So now is the time to hold and DCA with whatever projects that you like. And as the economy tries to figure out where it's going to go and how it's going to create GDP and how it's going to convert these white-collar workers into a blue-collar industrialized nation, while we wait for that, which will be years, it's going to give more and more buying opportunities and more, potential, I would say, legacy money investment opportunities to now enter the space. We just need that framework for this thing to pop. I really think so. So whoever gets in as far as administration goes, they're going to be pressured to do it because the money's on the sidelines waiting.
100% agree. And I think, a lot of people would argue that they should have already been working on it because, the one thing about the United States, and this is, speaking as somebody, a U.S. citizen, we've always been at the cutting edge of innovation, right? If you look at the internet, the largest companies, are all born out of the United States. And it's frustrating to have watched the last 3-4 years, a lot of innovation leave the United States. I think there's still time, and maybe it's going to take a crisis like this that could be playing out to actually get people, fully on board, and really, the people that matter, the people that make the big decisions. I just hope that it's not too late, and they can actually put this into action sooner rather than later, for sure. But guys, I think we're going to wrap this one up. I've got a meeting here at 12 o'clock. So, man, this has been a great one. We'll be back live tomorrow, 8:30. I'll be live, 8:30 Eastern. I'll be live on X and YouTube. Run it right up to the Crypto Breakfast Club here at 9:30. And we usually go 9:30 to 11:30. Sometimes we go a little bit over, especially if the conversation's flowing. But, man, it's been another great space. Thanks to all the people listening in across all the platforms. Really, really appreciate it. And thanks for everybody coming up, taking part in the conversation, and for all the listeners down there. Couldn't do it without you guys. Mar, you got something before we head out, brother? Go ahead.
Yeah, Zach, I'm in a bad fucking mood at the end of the day with this market, and I'm about to go and say something.
That's how you're going to end the space, bro.
Hey, your
PFP.
PFP.
Bad positive message, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a bad fucking mood,
Listen,
bro.
Your PFP is annoying as fuck. I've been wanting to say this from day one. Change it, bro. Become a fucking adult, bro. Become an adult. Become an adult, bro. Holy shit.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys so much again, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be putting out some videos and stuff like that too, and anything that breaks, obviously, we'll be watching it. So appreciate you guys again. Thanks for adding so much to the conversation today, everybody, all the speakers, and Zach, Paid. Appreciate you guys for always helping me out with the co-hosting. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.